Hello, Professor, you're on mute.
Disconnected. Yeah. Now I'm okay. You can hear me, right?
Yes, Professor.
Yes, we were talking about question pattern. So the C section is going to be in any case study, which is again the external paper. Predominantly 50% is your case study. Say, since you got, most of you got both assignment good marks, and with the case study carrying again 40-45 marks, I don't think it's going to be difficulty at all. Most of you will get up scoring good marks in this paper. I don't know about other papers. This paper they will get good marks.
Thank you, Professor.
So otherwise, how has been all your studies? HRM so far? Concepts, clarity, understanding.
It has been good, informative. A lot of things usually which we overlook while at work. So we have a chance here to.
Correct. Correct. See, HR is overused or underused word, right? Either we do it so much of tantrums, which is not practically used it, or we don't give any weightage to HR. In my experience, I've seen. But in my after all this experience, I can feel it can do wonders. Like any other, I'm not saying that only HR. Every function can do wonders, but HR they have not utilized it fully. They just kept it like more of a transactional kind of function or fault finding or like a judging, that kind of things. But whereas it can really do wonders like any other function. But the guy who has to deal that HR function needs more maturity, transparency, different perspectives. Simply just because you studied the knowledge of HR may not help in handling that function at a senior level. So everybody's on board. Can we start? Still, I can see only few people online. Nikhil, should we start the class? Or you want me to wait for a few minutes?
Professor, let's wait for 2 to 3 minutes.
Okay, no problem. Sunday, let's give them the chance. No problem.
Yeah.
Yeah. You give me a signal, I'll get started. Okay. I'll mute my voice for the time. Okay, guys, let's start. I think most of our friends are online. Can we start? Happy Sunday morning to all of you guys.
Good morning, Professor.
Good morning.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning.
Happy morning.
Good morning. Oh, now I can.
Morning,
Good morning.
Professor.
Now, all of you had breakfast or no breakfast? Dieting.
We had.
No breakfast.
No breakfast, sir. I have not taken, yeah, because of you guys. You've taken all of you. It's not good. Not fair enough.
Not yet, sir.
So here itself, let's not yet. Nah. Otherwise, let's start the dispute between you and me. Okay, industrial dispute between the student and the faculty. No, it should be a dispute like that, right? Okay, guys, come back. You're all good people. Come back. Now, what is the subject today we are going to discuss? What is the agenda? What you want to discuss today? Tell me. I have in mind what I'm planning to discuss. What do you have in mind today? Let me generate the idea from you itself. You remember once I taught you OD. OD means you are the participants. Let me generate from you guys what you like to learn today, how you like to learn today, and how you want to enjoy today. Come on, you generate, I'll handle it. I have my own plan also. Come on, guys, give me some input. Let's warm up the session. Hello. Come on, please go ahead. Please go ahead. Let's warm up. Come on, say something. You're saying something.
Professor, I would
You are
want
saying
to
something, or I have to start talking?
I would want to ask one doubt.
Please go ahead. That's what I'm. Please go
Does
ahead.
conflict, does
Anything you ask,
conflict
let me-
resolution come as an active part of HRM?
Conflict resolution is definitely it's it's an there are two kinds of conflict resolution. What's your good name? I'm not seeing your name.
Harshdeep.
Hello.
Harshdeep.
Hello. Yeah, Harshdeep. Harshdeep. See, conflict resolution is two conflict resolution, Harshdeep. One at the employee level, at the workman level, and the industry. It is
Okay.
definitely part of IR. Conflict, the dispute starts with the grievance and conflict, right? Good, you started the session. I wanted you guys to be more active, yeah, Sunday, otherwise it will become boring. So, where is that industrial relation starts? You ask the question, conflict resolution comes under HR. My answer to that question is there are two angles to that one. Conflict is started at the industry level, at the factory level, at the workman level. Basically, it starts with a grievance, maybe less salary, less bonus, overtime is more, these guys are not giving me dress allowance, this night, okay. That kind of grievances getting into conflict, or the supervisor is very bad, all those kind of. So that conflict becomes a major issue for IR. The grievance starting point, conflict second point, third, that becomes a cause of action for your industrial dispute. One approach. The second approach is in all our management today. We talk, I was just thinking 10 minutes before, is that IR is, IR is really applicable to all of you guys, all of we guys. Yeah, in a different manner. It is not the same way like industrial dispute. The same conflict, what has the past, that even industry at your level, we have a conflict, but we are not saying it is a conflict. We are saying that I don't agree with the role clarity. Our management says, no, you guys are not contributing to that level. So you can say the expectation clarity is not there. When the expectation clarity is not there, that's also conflict. Here, because of lack of expectation clarity, the conflict may be suppressed. You don't come out. You being a white collar job, you don't come out openly, vehemently like a workman will resort to strikes and things like that. But there he goes to strike. Here, your engagement goes down, your satisfaction goes down, attrition starts. The planning to attrition, the planning to thinking of attrition starts. So the conflict resolution, I would say it's a good point. She raised it. One IR part of it, one HR part of it. IR, when we are talking in terms of labor and workman, definitely conflict is an IR major issue. That is a starting seed point for industrial relation or employee relation or industry dispute. In coming to HR part of it, all white collar people, the conflict is there. Where is the grievance? When there is a grievance, whether your boss is not okay, your role clarity is not okay, or you are asked to achieve a target which is not possible, or you have been given a role which has not been assigned based on your this thing, or your compensation is not good. There is some sort of grievance or conflict getting inside. Now, this conflict ends in non-satisfied employee, non-engaged employee. Okay, then he starts not being productive. You start looking for an attrition. Have you answered your question, Harshdeep?
Yes, sir.
Harshdeep,
Yes, yes.
have you answered the question? You good starting point. Yeah. Otherwise, theoretically, literally, conflict resolution means people don't. If you see any book, they don't say the way I told you. Book will say conflict means yes, industrial dispute. Conflict means industry, workman. That's what they talk. I thought about it. It is both way. It's given a different name here, different name there. Okay. Now let's come to the topic. Anybody would like to ask question? Please, I'm happy she asked. I want you guys to ask few questions. Then it's, it becomes more enjoyable for us to bring in different concepts. Otherwise, I'll come with a pre-thought, then I'll go in my own flow. If you bring in something new from your own perspective, with my thought, my experience flow, we'll be able to have a wonderful discussion. Okay, guys, any other question?
Professor Shashivakumar here. Professor, most of the time, industrialization talks about manufacturing and worker labor, like contractual labor manpower involved, right? Because most of the time, if
Right.
you're during the agreement renewal or something, or contract renewal, most of the time we don't cannot meet their expectations, right? So that's where a lot of time they go
Right.
for strike, or like they said they will not avail for the service in few days. So how do you manage these scenarios?
Correct.
I personally manage this like 20-30 contractors. Like it's managing is a nightmare.
You're working with 30 contractors. You have 30 contractors. What's your good name? Yeah, I'm not seeing your name.
Shivakumar.
Hello.
Shivakumar.
Shiva, you are not seeing. I can't see you, man. Shiva. Okay, Shiva, you are managing 30 contractor, licensed contractor.
Right.
Hello.
Yes, Professor. Yes. They provide services to us.
30 contractors registered in the Contract Regulation and Abolition Act, right?
Right.
Registered or not registered? Right.
I think it's registered.
And how many permanent employees? Huh? Hello.
Yeah. In our company, we have permanent employee. Hello.
What is your company? They are into manufacturing?
Yes, Professor. It's manufacturing. And
manufacturing. So you have around 30 contractor registered contractor. Your question is, what is your problem? Tell me, I'll answer. From there,
no, actually, most of the time,
though I've covered this in the last point of.
Most of the time we face.
Where is the starting point? Where is the cause of action for? Your voice is breaking, Shiva.
Okay.
I can't hear you, Shiva.
Now,
I can't hear you.
Okay, maybe I'll.
It's a lot of distortion. You are distorted. Why is it distorted? Are you coming, or I'll start answering? Okay, guys. While Shiva comes back. Hello.
Professor, he logged out. He'll join again, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay.
Professor, can you able to hear me now?
Yeah, no, I can hear you. Yeah, go ahead. What is your problem?
No, problem is how do you manage those?
But you have to pay my consultancy fees. No.
Yeah, it's a big problem. I understand.
You get all reward on me. Tell me. Practically tell me. I'll give you a sure short answer. Managing 30 what exact problem? What problem we are having as a professional? If you have a problem, then only I can.
The problem is how do you smoothen these transactions? How do you manage them and get the work without affecting our day-to-day operations?
Contractors who are getting enrolled are not that skill set, or implies Sorry, in between the internet went off. Okay. Now, can you hear me, all of you?
Yes, Professor. Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Now, Shiva, do you want to continue your question? I asked you a written question. Is it a problem in getting the right skill set of contract employees through the contractor? Are the contractors not supplying the required number of workers? Or the contract employees supplied to the contractor are creating a problem of claiming permanency? What is your problem? Because I'm
The
not
first
getting,
one,
I dealt a lot with contract employees.
the first one, I think one thing is initially they may provide the good services, but as we prolonged, that's where the mismatch in the competency and the quality of manpower. And again, the
Provided
cost
by the contractor. Okay, it's not a cost is also high. Okay. Where it's in Bangalore? Where is it?
Yeah, it's in Bangalore only.
Bangalore. See that, Shiva, the minimum wages payable to the permanent employees have to be paid to the contract labor also, right? That
Yes.
you cannot save on that. On the top of it, you must be paying only the commission to that guy, 10%, 12%, 8%, whatever. Correct?
Yes.
You're paying only, that is a contract, or you're paying a lump sum to that guy. The best is to pay, because legally you are liable. You are the principal. Come on, all the students. It's also a question. Suppose a factory, Shiva, I'm taking your example to go to different explanation. Shiva's factory has got 100 permanent employees. Okay. Shiva's factory also got 200 contract employees. Okay. Out of these permanent employees and the contract employees, some people are same unskilled, semi-skilled and all. Now the question is that, can you pay less salary to the contract unskilled employees employed through the contractor? Anybody would like to answer this question? This becomes one of the major in dispute for the industrial relation purpose. I asked you a question. Shiva's company has got, say, 200 permanent employee, and that maybe some unskilled people are 50 employees. For him, he is paying, say, 15,000. He has also taken some 20 contract employees through the contractor. And there, instead of paying 15,000, he pays 12,000 because he says it's a contract employee. Is it correct or wrong? How it is correct, how it is wrong? Can anybody like to answer?
Professor,
Not answering? Yeah.
I'll give a try, Professor.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah. So I will.
Please try. Please try.
Yeah. So I will
Yeah.
say, like, when they are paying the contract employees less, actually that's what in the actual industry it's happening. Because they will say that you are not supposed to discuss your pay slip or pay strategy, or else they will say that we are not paying you directly, we are paying your parent company, and you are in turn getting salary from them. That's one way of seeing at it. But
Okay.
at the same time, if you see the general norms, both of them have to be paid equal amount as per one law what
Law.
you discussed. Yeah.
As per law.
Yeah,
As per law.
yeah.
As per law.
Yeah, I was trying to recollect the act what you said. I couldn't recollect it. And at the same time, actually,
Contract Regulation Act.
Contract Regulation Act. So as per that, if you see, actually the contracts are supposed to get more salary pay scale than the permanent employees, because the permanent employees are getting other benefits, and the liability of the company towards the contract employees is not there much. So based on that reason, I think it's not good. I mean, it's not how to say? It's not good, Professor. That's all I can say.
Good, Deepika. Good. What Deepika said, this is what 70-80% of the CEOs like me who are heading the company are having their own perspective without understanding the law. Okay. Hello, can you hear me, guys? Sorry, there was some problem. Hello.
Yes,
Voice
Professor.
is,
Hello, can you hear me now?
keep on breaking, Professor.
Yeah, voice is breaking.
This change. Is it better now?
Yeah, yes, now it's better.
No, it's better. Okay, okay. I switch change the other mobile. Okay, guys. Now what I do is I was answering her question that one of the reason for the industrial dispute is that the COs, MDs, HR leaders probably they know the act, but the COs and MDs, we interpret the act in a different manner. Thereby we commit a mistake. Whereas the union and the other labor, they are very much clear about the act. They'll allow us to make a mistake and they'll cash on it. Okay. Anyhow, now, any other question? Let me start complete what I want to say. Then all this interesting point. In any case, I'm taking the last example, which are the practical issues that we are facing. Now let me start talking for another half an hour. Is it okay with you guys? Hold on all your questions.
Okay, Professor.
Yes,
Okay. Now let's talk about, let me give the whole background, theoretical background, then we'll get into practicality, which in any case I'm planning to do at the 8th, 9th slide of it. Okay. Now, for what is we use the word industrial relation and employee relation. What is the difference between employee relation and industrial relation theoretically? Employee relation means there's an HR manager, there's a fitter. The fitter comes to him, sir, I have not got my uniform, or I have not got my, whatever grade, fitment grade and all those things. There's a relation between an employee X with an HR manager or a junior fitter with an engineer. So there is a relation between employee and employer, 1:1. That employee could be with his own immediate boss, or employee could be with the HR manager, or employee could be his other department. So there is an employee-employer relationship, which is called employee relationship. Then what is industrial relations? IR. One side you call employee relation, the other side employee relation concept is clear to you. But when I say industrial relation, what do you mean by industrial relation? Is it same or different? When we say employee relation, we talk in terms of 1:1. When we take industrial relation, it becomes cumulative. It is not single employee. Maybe the whole plant of 100 employees talking to HR guys. Okay. On the whole 100 employees, along with the union leader talking to HR guys, along with the top management. So it is only the employer, but the dimension is getting changed. Again, I'm telling you, the first concept, ER and IR. Employee relations meet individual employee connecting with his immediate boss or HR or any even top management or other department function for his own grievances, consultation, or whatever you call it. It's employee relation. This gets, extrapolated as an IR when many employees may or may not be with the union, may or may not get only HR, or along with HR sees the top management. Then it becomes a collective employee, collective employer. Then it becomes industrial relations. There, the employees concept may be a single few concept. When it becomes collectively, it becomes many concepts. Maybe that the guy doesn't talk about only that I didn't get my last month's salary, wrongly deducted my salary. That's employee relationship. When it gets into industrial relation, it doesn't come only with a single particular employee's salary PF deduction has been wrong. He will say, no, you have not paid the night allowance, you have not paid the dress, you have not paid the cycle allowance, you have not. So they come up with many concepts when it becomes industrial relation, not one grievance. In employee relation, it could be one or two single. When it becomes IR, it's cumulative, many points, many employee, union with HR and top management. So this is how employee relation become an IR relations. So individual to collectivity, single issue to many issue. Is it clear to all of you guys? Now, if that is the case, now what is the dimensions overall involved in this IR business? Employee side, number one, employee grievance, employee himself. Then his own union people. 2 people are involved in it. The employer side, you have 3 people. The HR department, the CO or MD, also the employer association, like you have a sugar mill association, you have a steel association, Tata Steel Association, there are many associations. So from employer side, employer HR, or IR department, and the top management, whosoever is there on the spot, and then employer association. That is 3. The employee level, employee himself grievances, his own union in their own company, and also the union at the state level. So 3 dimension this side, there's 3 dimension this side. So it becomes complex. When it starts with a small employee grievance, the seed is a small employee grievance. So it gets into IR. Then when it comes to IR, right side you have 3, left side you have 3. Right side 3, as I explained it, the HR himself can handle it or mess it up. Sometimes they can handle very well. Sometimes they themselves can mess it up thoroughly. Then the top management, HR does very well. The top management doesn't accept HR's expert. They mess it up. On the top of it, there is an association. They have their own industry association, employer association. They do. Left side, you have a small employee. On the other side, the internal union. Then it becomes a bigger issue. There's a state level union. So 6 people making it very complex, obviously to me, immature, impractical, transparency, reactive. If you ask me, I mean, I can tell clearly, if there are leaders, 80% of the IR, if I have to take the lead at the national level or state level, can be easily avoided, can be easily prevented. But there's no leadership, there's no communication, there's no pragmatic approach, there is no proactive approach. It's all reactive. Because it becomes a single employee's grievance, how it gets into 6 party getting into more complicated. Okay, now I complicated to the 6 party. Now the 7th is the government agency will come in. As a labor enforcement officer will come, labor commissioner will come, 7th agency. Okay, now when these people come, again it gets complicated, then it goes to labor court, 8th agency. So a single employee grievance gets into IR. IR gets into complex because of 1, 2, 3, 6, 7 element getting involved. When 7 element getting involved, the problem solving decision becoming in any case difficult. But these people's attitude is all the more bad. Even if you are clean, transparent, you have a good intention, it may be difficult, challenging. When there are 8 parties getting involved, it could have been easy 1-to-1 at the employee and the employer, employee and the HR department could have been easy, or at the most employee union at the level. So you made it so complicated. 7 parties, including government agency. Government agency will also try and play their own role. Beyond that, you go to labor court and all. So the simple employee relation, how it gets into IR. Okay, how it gets into exploded into 7-8 parties. You understand? And the 7-8, this all exploded. I can strongly say, if anybody wants to sue, let them sue it. In my experience, I've seen it. Most of the strike is only just because of very ineffectively handled. I can't blame the union people, but at least from V side, as an employer side, I like to own the responsibility. How I was productive, I was pragmatic, how I have not been sympathetic, how I could not have tried all my problem solving approaches, how I have not nipped in the bud itself, how I have not allowed that problem not to come up, so that like Deepika was talking about contract employee, we ourselves paying the less salary or something like that. So we already provided a seed for the bad union to catch on it. So maximum disputes starts by us. So then if the 7-8 comes, what is the third stage? Now the tools become collective bargaining, bipartite settlement, tripartite settlement. It becomes still more complex. Collective bargaining between employee and employer becomes easy. Collective bargaining between your employee, union and your management could have been a little more challenging. Now collective bargaining at the level of bipartite, like big unions, big employer. Tripartite, government also sitting. When the government sits in, political representation will also come. Now you understand how a small issue can get extrapolated or taken it not at the objective of why we need industry. Industry we need for peaceful working, good production, good employee benefit, employee satisfaction. These 2 objectives are supposed to be handled by IR. Rather than handling these 2 approach, IR is aggravating these 2 approach. Is this concept clear to you guys? IR, employee, ER, employee, and 6-7 agency getting involved and getting it more complex. And this more complex can be easily solved provided leadership is shown more from the management side. Is the concept clear to all of you guys? Anybody would like to discuss on that point? Yeah, Soundarya, you want to say something? Is it clear to guys? I just formed up the concept of, yeah. Hello, somebody was saying something.
Yeah, Professor, with regards to agencies you were mentioning, right? Can you explain that once again?
Okay, now you're talking about the contract agencies getting into the problem, Deepika. You're talking about that one. Hello? Yeah, okay. Now she talked it. Now, okay, we'll take it from there. Now the basic concept is clear, IR is clear, ER is clear, the agencies involved is clear, and how we handle it from the beginning itself in a wrong manner. So that is what becoming a small issue, becoming a big issue. We are all accountable for it. You, me, educated people, HR people, top management, CEOs, MD. Sometimes HR is good, MD doesn't believe. Sometimes MD is good, the HR guy doesn't have a right kind of ego, get into the ego. Oh, these union guys can talk all this. Okay, now come to that. One more point she raised it. Let me start from that point. I asked the point. Most of the IR dispute starts with the somewhere mistakes committed by us as an employer. Okay. As I told you, you are supposed to comply with the act, labor act, whether it's minimum salary or bonus act or contract labor act or any act and all those things. As he asked it, in most of the cases, we make mistake and we think that we make mistake knowingly or unknowingly. In this particular case, like she said, contract employee. Suppose you have a contract regulation act and regulation. Now let me deep dive into the contract regulation act, how it can create a big industrial unrest, which is created by we people, employer, not by the employee. So the Contract Regulation Act says, first of all, number one, you can keep contract employee only in a non-manufacturing, non-peripheral, not in the core job, number one. Contract Regulation Act says, you cannot keep contract employee just because you can have a contractor. Please try to understand all of this thing. You can keep contract employee where there is no core job, where there is no manufacturing job. Suppose, for example, in a factory, you have a turbine, you have a mills, you have a, all boilers, the boiler attendant, all those people, you cannot have a contract employee. You can have security guard. You can have sometimes watchmen at the gate. Sometimes once in a week, the people come to clean the plant, you can have it. But what we do is, number one, we keep contract employees where permanent employees are work. So there itself we make a mistake. One. Two, we think that when we do it, we think that it's cheaper for us, we can afford to keep. But as per the act, it is all wrong. Which union is watching? Workman is watching. Whereas we watching or unwatching, we are doing that first mistake. Second mistake, what we do is that, okay, you are allowed to keep a security guard in your gate. Okay. And you are paying an unskilled man inside the factory 15,000 rupees, permanent workman. This unskilled, unsecured security man through XY contractor, you cannot pay 12,000 rupees. As per the law, the minimum wages to be paid by the to the contract employee. In this case, security guard posted in your gate is a contract. Okay, security guard posted in your gate, agreed. The first checklight point, yeah, he can be employed as a security guard because it's not a core manufacturing job. I can keep it. There are a lot of disputes. High courts, different high court has given different judgment. But by and large, it is accepted. Security guard and the gate is not a core manufacturing job. Okay, he can be a contract employee. Number one, agreed. Number two, can you pay 10,000, 12,000 just because he's a contract employee? No, he has to be paid minimum salary equivalent to the minimum salary paid inside the factory. Number three, or the minimum salary paid into the factory, or the minimum salary paid by the. Number three, you will say that, okay, I'm not paid, I'm not responsible, he's not my employee. If the contractor ABC company has given me security guard, it is his headache. If he had not paid it, he has to pay for it. Okay, I'm not. I had a settling with the contractor. He is supposed to pay and manage the people. Number one. Number, he is supposed to handle the labor department. So it's not my problem. Third, this is wrong. As per the Contract Act, you are the principal employer. Contractor is a secondary employer. The principal employer is responsible for ensuring the security guard getting his minimum salary, getting his minimum bonus. You can end up paying the contractor, not his commission, 10-12%. That is why I always insist, you guys don't pay the contractor a lump sum money. Pay him minimum salary. I will pay minimum salary. We'll pay the statutory benefit. Plus, we will pay you service charges up 8%, 10%, 12%. What we do is, sometimes we think we smart, contractor is too smart. We'll say that per employee, I'll pay you 15,000, 20,000. You have to look after all the statutory. You'll enter up a wrong agreement, without knowing that. We think that we are too smart, the contractor will take care of everything. But contractor is smarter than us, labor is smarter than us, union is smarter than us. Because we are making mistakes, knowingly or unknowingly. It's not a win-win situation. Whereas we should be having the lead under our own control. Okay, now the third point I said is, okay, we think that, okay, even if you're not paid minimum salary, it's not my mistake, I'm not the employer. No, as per the Contract Regulation Act, you are the principal employer. You are responsible for paying not only minimum salary, all the statutory benefits, be it PF, ESI, bonus, whatever is applicable to the equal unskilled permanent employee inside the factory, the contract employee is eligible. And non-compliance of the thing is going to attract civil and criminal penalty of you as a principal employer, then secondly contractor. So now what we do is, this example, what it creates it, you are creating industrial unrest seed. You think that I'm saving the money, I'm having the headache, I'm having smooth work of people. You are allowed. Who says you don't take? I'm not saying that don't take contract employee, but while taking the contract employee, be professional. Am I keeping the contract employee where I can keep as per the act? Yes, tick it. Have I appointed the right contractor? Tick it. Have I provided in the contractor remuneration? All statutory benefits will be ensured. It will be in my account plus his commission. Is he paying that? If I done it, all those things, you are not allowed not a civil tomorrow claiming it. What will happen, in this case, he will not only claim the salary, he will claim a permanent job inside. The dispute, what is going to arise out of this example is, what will happen is that one example, he can claim the different salary, which is easy. You can pay and settle that thing. He will not say that. He will say that wrongly they kept me as a contract labor. It's an unfair labor practices under the Industrial Dispute Act. Instead of keeping me permanent employee, they kept me through the contractor. It's unfair labor practices. So hence I should be taken as a permanent employee inside the factory. Once this goes to the court, most 99% he will win it. In case you kept a contract employee where permanent employee is supposed to work. So now who's created the reason for this industrial unrest? Employer or employer? Now I want you to answer this question. This example is clear to all of you. Have I explained it clearly or not? This example. Come on, guys.
Yeah, Professor.
Employer.
I have explained
Employer is the responsible.
who is management is responsible right now. Who created this? I want to write a strong book with you guys. IR is created to a large extent by us, not by the employee. And they are smart enough to catch us. If I do it like what he said, if I do it 1 year, they'll quietly watch, I'll tell you. Out of my experience, I'm telling you. They will quietly watch, they will go with the flow for 6 months, 1 year, 2 years. They'll make you to commit the big thick of the mistake up to your neck. Then they will come, sir. In the union will come, state level will come, sir, in the industrial dispute, you are keeping per contract employee in a permanent place. Number 1 dispute, sir. Number 2 dispute, sir. You are not paying the minimum salary and this thing in the name of contract employee. How will you gain that one? You will not be able to win that one. And not, okay, at least that stage, second skill. One, you created the seed for industrial dispute. Okay, you made a mistake. You are not supposed to have that ignorance of law. You made, at least quickly settle that issue. Instead of handling it effectively, there you will show your ego. No, we are did right. Contract employer. Sorry?
But negotiate at this point and close the deal.
Hello? Yeah. You negotiate and close the deal, right? Because you made a mistake. Instead of making that mistake, you make it furthermore. All those things I'm telling you, the union people are more smart. They are watching for you to make mistakes and after mistakes. If you are a smart CO, wherever I have been in, I can quote you one. I was in Punjab, one place in one factory as a CO. There were 3 dominant unions: UP Union, Punjab Union, Bihar Union. And the Punjab Union was a communist union. All of them would wait for you to make a mistake. And there's inter-union rivalry also. One union, something you sided, he will come against to kill you. So if you are very this thing, union people will be very unhappy with you. Oh, this guy is a straightforward, clean guy, is leading it properly. I'll give in the end of the time is that my own examples I give. Now the point what talk about is that
Professor, this is Chinmay here. A quick question.
Yeah.
If let's say that you are a CEO of a company, or you have you have outsourced some work to a vendor, and I am the vendor.
You are the contractor. Put the word
I'm
contractor.
a contractor.
Yeah, yeah.
How will you know that I'm following the regulations required, or what checkpoints you will put to measure or ensure that the vendor is not misusing the vendor is following the law?
Chinmaya's question is very valid. Anybody like to answer? I can answer. I'll answer it. Very, very clear. Should I answer it or anybody like to answer? Yeah, hello.
Most of the time, what we do is we capture some of the whatever the applicable laws, everything in the contractual agreement, and also the invoices. If they do, then along with that, we go ask for statutory PF, ESI documents along with that, and also HR will audit frequently.
Okay. 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 Now,
apart from this, what I want to add, like there's a set protocol that we need to, being a contractor, they have to follow, and to make sure like they are following it. Being an owner, there will be a small committee that will be looked into those areas, whether the contractor is following those protocols or the given system or not.
So how do we do that? Do we do that with audits, or do we do that with just a contract?
Chinmay, I can tell you. I'll answer on behalf of all of you. I'll answer it. Again, as per the Contract Labor Act, we are not going to do anything from management point of view. We are going to do everything as per the Act, because Act is a big boss here, right? To you, to us as management, to the employee, to the union, everybody, Act is the boss. But let's be clear. Act clearly says, number one, you cannot appoint a contractor without getting a contract license from the Deputy Labor Commission, number one. Okay. Okay, so he got the license to employ the contract employee. Number two, when he got the license, even he has got a direction from the Deputy Labor Commissioner that you are supposed to pay minimum salary and things. Two, you as a principal employer, you are keeping your minimum salary wage register, attendance register, everything, right? Previously, it used to be hard copy. Now it is a soft copy. The similar way, the contractor is supposed to keep, in which you as a principal employer, your HR guy is supposed to sign every month on month. Yes, in my presence, through my own labor officer or assistant labor personal officer, so much employee been paid. Chinmaya, are you getting my point? It is not that you leave it to the contractor, unlimited authority, you will get, one day you will get to know. No, month on month, you are supposed to keep even copy of that record with you. I am Bhaskaran, I am working as a contractor with you. I engage 100 employees on your behalf. You've given me license to supply 100 workers. Now, every month I am supposed to give 100 employees attendance sheet, their signature, salary paid to them, all the document I'm supposed to give it to you, to the HR department. And HR department is supposed to validate and keep that record for auditing purpose. Suppose you do this thing, are you not complying with it or not? Chinmaya, have I answered your question or not? The Act provides for it. Again, I'm telling you, the Act provides for it. That's what I'm telling you. There's an Act who's a boss, which union is very much clear about taking shelter in the boss Act. We are not clear it. Either we think that we are too smart or we ignore it. So we get into industrial dispute. Clear, Chinmaya? Act clearly says, you are the principal employer. You make sure every month the attendance sheet and salary paid to the employees vouched and signed by your representative, maybe HR manager or junior HR manager or labor welfare officer. You keep the record, ensure on month it pays. If he pays it, then clear. That is what I said, managerial concept. Don't give the guy a lump sum money. You say you are supposed to pay me 100 employees. Each employee's minimum salary, bonus, statutory will be paid as per that, will be paid by my company. Plus, you will be paid you have a service charge. We use the word service charge. We use the word of service charge of 8%. There you negotiate with that guy. If it's a large number, pay him 6%, 8%. If it's a small number, if it's highly competent guys you need it, pay him 12%. Okay, that is where you should negotiate. Instead of negotiating there, you negotiate lump sum. You think that, oh, ex-employee I was paying 18,000 rupees. Now this guy is willing to support it for 16,000. Out of 16,000, how much is paying? So what I'm trying to say is, apart from practical, try to understand the main point. One of the IR dispute arises because we management are not sensitive enough, careful enough to understand the law in depth, monitor the law and comply with the law. Whereas our other party, union and employee and everybody, are carefully watching, consistently watching, they are allowing you to make a mistake, then they will catch you. Even at the time of catching, you instead of handling it effectively, you're getting the other way. Have I answered your question? So one reason for IR is your ability to not handle it professionally, step by step, validating, implement the act. Chinmaya, have I answered your question?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Are we through now? Are we going in the right direction? So where we started is that IR is what we were trying to talk over the last 10, 15 minutes, that IR is becoming an issue mostly by one reason. There are many reasons. I'm not saying only one reason. There's one reason for this thing. Work can be measured by KPI. However, in terms of allowances, if there are KPI can be, no, contract employees work measurement is different with contract employee. The problem is, Chinmaya, the problem is, are we paying the benefits of the employee, contract employee? Most of the time the problem comes because you don't pay the benefits. Getting the output is different issue. Okay. So now a simple issue. What did we discuss? Simple issue of not understanding the law, or not complying with the law, not keeping the records as per the law. If you do these three things, 70% of the IR can be solved. I mean, prevented. You agree with me or not? I'm telling you out of my own experience. At the age of 65, I'm telling you. I seen a lot of UP state level. I was representing the labor participation at the UP state level. Punjab state level, I was representing. I've seen the strikes at your Manesher, Maruti. I've seen Hero Munjal was my friend. How they avoided no industry initially, how they got into, how the Tatas. For all those things, if you have to write a small paper on what are the factors responsible for industrial strike, how it can be prevented, is one such reason is that, can you guys understand the act and comply with professionally without diluting it point to point? Okay, then this 8th party cannot become complex in trying to hit us. Then we are the boss. Okay, once you do it, everybody becomes our boss. The law becomes our boss, union becomes our boss, court becomes our boss, tripartite becomes our boss. Where are we now? Nowhere. We can only waste our time and spoiling our blood pressure in attending many meetings. Finally, you have to pay. That's all. Clear, guys? How challenging or how simple it is, and how complicating we are. Okay. Now, what is the objective of IR? Why we need a good IR? Now, have I answered clearly? What is the scenario, employee relation? What is IR? Why it happens? How it can be prevented? Can we have some framework approach to prevent it? Can we have a scientific sensitive awareness to avoid it, rather than last moment he's going on hartal, then we are blaming and throwing, dismissing all the. Is that the right way of handling it? No, it's not right. Now, why do we need IR? Good IR. Obviously, if you don't have, you for example, take the same example. You kept the contract employee, you messed up by not paying salary, and they become a strong guy, and they got into not only employing salary, they joined with a permanent employee inside. They're going on strike. Oh, now contract employee should be taken permanent. All those things happen. The strike goes, what happened? There is no peace. There is no harmony. And since you are not handling it, the trust also goes. Cooperation goes. What will happen? At the end of the day, not only contract employee, even permanent employee. Because the union guy will definitely support the contract employee. For union, permanent employee, contract, all are same for him. And tomorrow he wants contract employees is full support for the union guy. So you don't think that, Chinmaya, have you people noticed it? Wherever union has got, union will support contract employees the same weightage as much as giving to permanent employees. I want answer from many of you guys. Union guys, union guys will give weightage to contract employees, probably more weightage, because that is where his business is brewing up. Permanent employee business, so he has already got it. Union is also the business, right? He's got a business of holding some ex-customer. Now he has to create a new customer. The new customer will come from the permanent contract employee, where the management will make a mistake. So that is where he will look for a new business. So now, because of this thing, you will not handle it properly. This simple example. So you are spoiling a peace, harmony, and then at the negotiation level, without understanding the mistake we made it, we go the other way. No, they are contract employees. It's not my duty. Contract employer has to pay. Then the trust goes. Finally, the truth will come. The truth is that you made a mistake. Your intention may not have been that to make a mistake, but you thought you are smartly managing it, you made a mistake. So what happens? Peace goes, harmony goes, employee involvement, commitment goes, production goes, productivity goes. The very purpose of having a factory is production, productivity, good quality, cost of production coming down, customer satisfaction, right? Production, productivity, quality more, wastage less, cost of production coming less. All those things possible if the employees are involved, committedly working seamlessly without all those things, then only it's possible. That is why IR becomes very, very important, that I have to maintain a peace, I have to avoid unrest, I have to avoid production loss, I have to produce, reduce wastage, I have to do all those kind of things. Now, so main objective of the IR is to maintain peace, harmony, thereby to achieve the more production, more productivity, reduce wastage, good quality, and a smooth working, vibrant working inside the organization. Like I know Mr. Munjal used to be my close friend of mine long back, that when I was in Punjab, Hero Cycle, they used to be, very proud. We never had a strike even one. They never even had a union to come in. Union even formed. The management took it such a preventive challenge that I thought that they were legally saying are suppressing union. They said, I will do it in such a way that the employee will feel there is no necessity to have a union. That is a leadership. I respect that kind of, employee. It's not that they are trying to say, no, I'll make sure that union doesn't get formed. The union is forming Gundagirdi. I will also do Gundagirdi. I will not allow people to join together, register union. That's not the approach. Hero Munjal, that time they took it as a challenge that we will look after our worker, we'll communicate with worker one-to-one closely, see that they don't feel the necessity of having a union. So that is the objective of it. So that what I mean to say, the third point it takes care of, that the channel of communication. You get into that kind of communication. If you do have a transparency, your philosophy, your value, your culture, that I don't want to cheat employee. I don't mean that I'll end up paying more to the employee. Please don't make mistake. I'm not going to pay more than what it is due. I am pay what it is due to him, genuinely, reasonably, as per the law. And I'll communicate, this is your due, man, as per this act, I'm paying. When I say that I will go out of it, doesn't mean that I loot my factory by giving. When I loot out by giving more than what he needs it, then that itself will create another dispute. I'll tell you, there are many places people made a mistake. In one of the places where I was, Bonus Act says minimum 8.33% bonus. Maximum is 20. So employee union cannot demand more than 20% bonus. Okay. In one of the industry, which I know I don't want to say, this guy ended up paying 21%, 22%. Okay. Now, in the initial stage, if you are paying 8.33 to 20%, there's a formula. Okay. When you make more profit, you maybe 18%, 17%. Even if you don't make profit, minimum you have to pay 8.33%. There's a set-on concept. But in any case, he cannot ask you more than 20% legally. Now, some of our friend, CEO or HR guy, under the pressure, they pay 21%. In the local union, it is not a state level union, local union, they pay 21%. That agreement has been signed and filed with the Labor Commissioner. Sir, we have mutually, bilaterally agreed to give 21%. The Labor Commissioner will be happy. The Labor Commissioner or Labor quotas by and large will try and see industrial peace, and they will not see what management is trying to do. Okay, unless they were absolutely necessary to take care of the management. Now, what is the mistake and right thing in this one? The complication, what it arises. Though the law says maximum bonus can be claimed 20%, the law also says, but by precedence you agreed to pay more than 21%. In future, the union has got the right to ask more and you have to negotiate and pay him. Are you getting my statement clear? This is another way you are getting creative. It happened in my presence. By law, 8.33 minimum, maximum 20%. The guy cannot do anything. He cannot go to hunger strike. He cannot kill you. He can sit and tarana. It will all become illegal strike. We can lock out and throw him, dismiss him, whatever you wanted at the first step. But you yielded. You signed an agreement saying that, okay, I'll pay 22% this time. So it become a precedence. Every time he'll ask you, then the court will not come into openly, the Labor Commissioner, the police department will not come in to say, sir, you deal with it. Unless the police or Labor Commissioner will come to that when it becomes a killing or law order or situation. When they are sitting on strike for 10 days, 15 days, asking for 23%, 25%, I'll tell you, no labor commissioner will come to help you. No police department will come to help you. Unless there is some stone throwing or somebody is trying to kill somebody. So who created industrial unrest here? Union, labor, or me? You. Come on, answer the question. Yeah, we people create. Soundarya, you created problem, right? Soundarya, correct? Hello, Shivkumar, we only created, right? Not the union.
Yes.
So
Yes,
this
sir,
is this is how you guys have to understand how the things are, the channel of communication. So second point I told you. One point is not complying, understanding, and implementing the law meticulously. And other guy is watching to kill you, make you to mistake. Two is that again here, who told you to give 22%? When you are given 21%, you are cutting your own hand. Okay, so third is thing, your channel of communication. You can prevent industrial dispute by doing all those things. The fourth objective of this thing, that can we workers' participation, involvement, confront the situation, is all very high level topic. The basic kind of understanding the law, implementing the law itself, even now 90% of the industries are not able to do it seriously, systematically. Workers' participation is really a luxurious word, according to me. Worker participation means involving the representative in how can you increase the productivity? How can you reduce more breakdowns? How can I get, I'll tell you, they can give you wonderful ideas. With due respect, in most of the manufacturing industries, we engineers and all may not be having that shop floor various issues. You know, what kind of small jugaadgiri can help, which worker can tell you. A good fitter can tell you. Good turner can tell you how small modifications, small things can really take care of you. Otherwise, you call a big consultant, he will take 3-4 days to diagnose and give a big report. Whereas small lathman, small turner, small electrician can come and give you some jugaad kind of things, which can take care of your productivity. So that's a small level worker participation. At even higher level worker participation, also we can take him like OD exercise. This year we are going to have this kind of bonus finalization, man, or we are going to finalize the workman's skill classification. Involve them in the participation. By involving them, if your intention is clear all the time, even if your intention is not clear, you will get caught. So all the more involve that guy, to get him also to bind him. Okay, next year is going to be so many posts of unskilled, semi-skilled. Bind him, yes sir. So it cannot be a dispute for him in future. So the objective and importance is, it is like any other function, it has to be taken seriously. This is a simple function, but it becomes very complex because the leadership is not understanding the complex which we are creating it through unawareness, for non-compliance, or to our own ego. I'm a big guy, I'm the big management. Who is he? Oh, that guy, one fitter will come and tell in presence of something is wrong when at home. He will come and say some wrong word to the HR guy. HR guy will get, in my office he has come and abused me. Go and search at him. Instead of understanding psychologically, the guy has done it for why? Take him empathetically. And you will go on to charge at him. Then he will join with 10 more worker and union to create more problems. So we end up creating reactive instead of proactive kind of thing. We don't comply with the law. We overdo than what we are supposed to do, or you do less than what we are supposed to do. So 70% of the issue created by us, and that creating in the big issue of harmony getting disturbed, trust created, and divide and rule starts by the union people, because union is watching. Union doesn't want anything to go smoothly. I mean, with due respect, in my experience, if anything is done smoothly, there's no big role for them. Are you understanding my point? Shiva, am I right? If things are going all right, do the union have a big role? And can they ask us to do more than what we are doing rightly, genuinely as per that? I want some answer from you guys. Union, no, they cannot come. Like I told you, can he ask me to pay minimum salary is 15? Can he ask me to pay 20,000? No. Can he ask me to pay more than 20% bonus? No. If I foolishly I made it once, then he can ask me. So union is aware of everything and he's watching. He wanted to make a mistake. Obviously, he's smarter than you. So if you are doing everything all right, you can make the union non-existence. Okay. By not doing it, you are getting into all this. Like for example, Tatas. How many of you heard about Tatas? What is the status of IR in Tata? Tell me today. Which are the major IR issues which you guys come across in your life. Like, have you heard about the 10 years back? I think 2013, I suppose, almost 10 years now. This Maruti Maneshar IR issue. How many of you heard about it? One. My HR, I told you about this one. What you call it? Hero Munjal. They had a plan. Now, of course, the union started there also. 3 Tatas. Historically, even those days, even Nehruji, everybody used to participate in that union. Tata still Samjetpur. Even the number of people, the number of unions, 30, 40 unions inside it. Now, what is the level of IR in IR? Anybody has got an idea? Or any other industry you got an idea about?
Professor, actually, I am from Titan, Tata Group company. Actually, in the Tata companies is well managed, this IR issues.
Correct.
No such type of disputes we have never heard. In our company also, it's well managed. Actually, we having union.
Yeah.
Actually, that union is internal union only. All office barriers are employees of the company. They are not.
You made it from the beginning.
Yes. They are not affiliated with any political parties, kind of thing. They are not allowing any outside union also.
Right. That's the culture you created, right? One very good step. Very good. Please explain. What's your name? I'm not seeing your name.
Madhu Patel, Professor.
Madhu, you are from Titan. Okay, please tell us. Please tell us your story. I will explain your story to other people. Number one, you succeeded in not having outside people to be member of the union. Very good point. At the registration itself, you made it. Your own existing permanent employee become the office bearers of the union, right, Madhu?
Yes, Professor. Titan Employee Union. They are registered as a Titan Employee Union.
Only the existing employee can become the office bearer of the union. Very one success point. Okay, 1, 2. Go ahead. 2. You are complying with all the laws, I suppose. You are not cheating them knowingly, unknowingly.
Yeah. That is very taken care from our HR team. Actually, any dispute they have internally discussed and sorted out. Everything one-to-one discussion happening from top management and office barrier. They have taken the decision internally only. They are not allowing to go some other to any intervening of government agency. They will not go to such level. Actually, I have seen three wage settlements. There is no such type of dispute I have never noticed in our company, in my experience.
Basic, because that you are not given any scope for dispute, right? You are not made there is a word called commission and omission. We only commit mistake, we only omit to not make a mistake, right? Your management, you are not given a scope for industrial unrest. Number one, you have your own people. Number two, your intention is clear. You want to pay the fair salary, fair dues to them. You are not there to dispute. 3, you are willing to understand and accept and implement the law, right, Madhu? Have you understood theoretically what is your company is doing? Correct, no?
Yes,
3 things you are doing.
You are right.
So you have a clean, welcome approach to union. Say that win-win, my own permanent employee only should become office bearers. Number 3, I will pay whatever share due to you. I am not here to cheat you. Number 4, I will comply with all the laws. With this thing, any interpretation is gone wrong between you and me, we'll sit and one-to-one, we'll resolve it. That is your success of industrial peace, Madhu?
Certainly, Professor.
This 5 point.
You are right, correct.
This 5 point is taken care of the class, I can tell you guys. The last slide, I'm supposed to tell you how you are supposed to be clear in succeeding in avoiding the, because at the end of the day, as a students we are reading today, we should also be clear now that what I should do, avoid all the time. 5 points, what he said is that. First is your philosophy, your culture. Yes, we respect union. We respect employee to ask for their own grievances. It is natural. They should ask, we will approach it. Number 2, we will encourage them only our employee to be office bearers. Any outsider, we will not allow from the beginning itself, because outsider will not have any commitment, involvement to this thing. Third, whatever the due, genuine, legal, fair benefits as per the law, whether bonus, salary, PF, anything, we will pay. Okay. Number 4, is there anything not misunderstood by him or by us in understanding the law? We'll mutually respect and resolve it then and there. 5th, hence there is no much scope for a dispute. 6, whenever once in 3rd year, the common principles of wage revision, 5, 10%, 12%, the industry pattern will give and close it. And 7th, we don't allow outside people to come for the wage revision. These are the 7th point you are doing, Madhu. Asif, I'm working for your company, I have summarized it.
Yes, correct? Professor. Yes, correct.
Correct, na? These are the 7.
Yes, sir.
So anybody prudency man will do this thing. how I could summarize it without even understanding. Who was your receiver, Titan? Bhaskar Bhatt, right? Madhu?
Sir, Bhaskar Bhatt retired. Now is CK Venkatramana, CKV.
You know, Bhaskar Bhatt was my senior to me. I used to come to quite often to meet Bhaskar Bhatt.
Okay. I don't know, Professor.
Bhaskar Bhatt has been my close friend. That's what I said. Title Bhaskar Bhatt. Bhaskar Bhatt has been my close friend. He was 2 years. Yeah. We were all same age. I also retired guy, but I don't claim as a retired guy. So do I think look like a retired guy to all of you guys? Yeah, talking. Okay. So
now he is in Tata Sons.
He's in Tata Sons. I know he's got into the director level kind of.
Yes.
Right. I know. Bhaskar Bhatt is he's an ITN, right? He's an ITN IM guy, right?
Yes, Professor.
So hence, because of ITN, I know that guy. So we have been good friends. And anyhow, but I also know he has gone into Tata Sons. It's a good recognition given to him. Yeah, why Tata Sons given the recognition? Tata Sons believes in clean people. People with a lot of transparency, clean people. So Bhaskar Bhatt, otherwise Bhaskar Bhatt, they could have sent him home. They taken Bhaskar Bhatt because of his own high level ethicity, integrity, productiveness, and all those things. Okay, nice. Thank you, Madhu. What is next here? Any questions so far?
Sir Rohit here, I have a question.
Yeah, please go ahead.
It's not related to this topic, but I need to know why companies do contract to hire kind of thing, because it will be a big disadvantage for the employee also, and for the company who opted for this also. So I need to have a vision on this.
No, why they are opt for contract employee, right?
Contract to hire, basically. See, for example, I am a Tata employee as of now, but I was working for a company called Testentra before. They deployed me in a different company, and they asked me to work there. But it's a disadvantage for the company where I was deployed, and actually they were paying around 20 lakhs package for me, and I was paid less also. So in this way, that consultant company or payroll company was getting a big advantage. I want to know what makes those type of companies to go for this kind of thing.
I will definitely answer. Anybody would like to pitch into Rohit's question? Rohit's question itself needs clarification. Okay, I'll rephrase it and get the approval of Rohit. Anybody would like to pitch into what Rohit said? Come on, guys. Otherwise, I have to pitch in. What Rohit, your question is not the workman contract labor under the IR.
Correct. Yeah.
Right, Rohit. We are discussing more about IR and ER related issue.
Yeah, before asking the question only, I told that.
I'll let me clarify it. I mean, 2 dimensions. One is that this is not a contract. What here we are using the word contract labor under the Contract Regulation Abolition Act for the industrial dispute point of view. So it doesn't come under that. Now it comes under the managerial outsourcing employee. Okay, outsourcing employee rather than having a core permanent employee and then outsourcing through other people. Correct. This comes under that category, Rohit. I have a core set of 100 employees who are working in my 5-6 project, and I keep on taking outsourcing from various agencies for this purpose. Correct, Rohit? This is the question, correct, right? Now you are saying, sir, under this thing, neither the employee is getting betting nor the employer is getting betting. Now the intention of the employer when they hire people through outsourcing, logically should be 2. There are a lot many expert kind of jobs, which I will not be able to source that kind of people and retain that kind of people, and I may not need it for a long time, that kind of expert kind of jobs. Are you getting my point? My company, some expertise job needed temporarily, and those kind of expertise job only expert agencies can provide. They are good in core competence. Their core competency is providing, taking that kind of people, training this, keep on training those kind of people. So I cannot afford to either hire or keep on training because my level of requirement is sporadic. Sometimes it is there today, it may not be there. So I have to end up paying more to the service provider rather than keeping. If I keep the employee tomorrow, what will happen? I will not be able to utilize his service, or I will have to relieve his from his service. So to avoid that kind of uncertainty, One, I want a high level expertise jobs, which I cannot do it. Two, I will not be able to sustain keeping this guy for a long time. So even though I ending up paying more to the service provider, which may not go to the employee, but from my employer point of view, that's the right thing to do. Rohit, have I answered your question?
Yes, sir. But still, I'm not that clear because why even Tata's and many of the Fortune 500 companies still does that? They have enough resource to hire directly, right?
No, if you could give practical example, then I can tell you. Philosophically, wherever they have a permanent job for a long time, like especially companies like Tata's and all those things, where they can afford to have a permanent job long time as per the vision, mission, business model going on, and the skill sets and all, they will keep it. Where I could see there are some very high, now a lot of specialization jobs are coming. Even those guys are also not willing to come to join as a permanent job. You know that they like to work through some certain, like for example, all those today you talk about high level automation, high level digital marketing, all those kind of people. There are a lot many highly set people. They don't want to come to work to XY company. They want to work through only that expert agency to go to that one. So otherwise, why employer will not keep it? You think the other way around, especially companies like Tata's or anybody, why they not like to keep? They don't want to keep and then relieve them. Any other companies, like probably I don't want to take lot of other companies name. It's not right on my part. They're a big company, but they don't mind hiring and firing people ruthlessly. But Tata's will never do that. They'll be very careful, long-term employment to employ. Tata's, the kind of Ratan Tata sir makes even now comments, it's very in-depth. They don't want to do a short term. Pandemic has come, remove the employee, pay the 50% salary. All those language they don't speak. Tatas don't speak. So what I'm trying to say is that no, this kind of employer, possibly they are hiring people from that angle, expert people. I may not be able to keep them for a long time. So that could be the reason. Other than that, why they would like to lose it? Okay.
Because I am into a team. I'm a permanent employee of Tata Elxsi, but I have seen in some. In my team, I have seen some people who are a payroll, who are coming from a payroll company. Outsource.
Same kind of job. Relatively same.
Correct.
Could be that they are not very clear about how soon the business is going to expand.
Okay.
Now the other angle, Rohit, that I know that business today is, you are talking about that kind of very high value kind of cars and things like that. To how the business is going to improve, can I keep, the infrastructure and investment too high right now? As and when the business expands, I'll keep absorbing them.
Okay.
Economic reasons. So today it may be apparently look too high. Apparently, I'm paying more in terms of not only the guy's salary plus some service charges to that guy, but ethically, tomorrow I don't have to relieve that guy. They are not seeing any other. Their intention is nothing else. It's a good intention if you see that. They want to be transparent. Okay.
Thank you.
Good question, Roy. Thanks for asking this question. Okay. Anybody else?
Yeah, right, Professor. Actually, main thing, suppose this we also follow. Suppose we are building a new plant, new manufacturing plant.
Right.
The starting of the construction or engineering till the plant completion. So we need a lot of resources, like that few 3 years or 5 years something. So we take like outsource resources, and they are like outsource resources only. They will be there for that 3 years or 5 years. So once the plant is handed over to us, then our permanent employees will manage.
Then you are clear now. This much strength I would need it for a particular stable period of time, right? That's a good intention of management. Rather than taking and removing people in an haphazard manner and thereby creating industrial unrest. Not at our level, the lower level employees also. You take it. Everybody comes with an dream now that I'll get absorbed, like companies like Tata's and such a dream company. So it's a good clarity of expression of interest. That's what I use the word communication. If you communicate effectively, channel of communication, transparency of communication, intention. These are the reasons for industrial unrest. Okay. Anybody else like to add anything? So far we covered as basically what is IR, what is ER, what are the reasons, how it becomes a simple thing becomes complicated, how it is easy to do you people believe me in my statement last 1 hour I'm talking? Is it easy to prevent and control or not? Do you think it's too difficult, too challenging? We are making it complex. Is it possible to prevent it to a large extent? Yes or no?
Yes, if we are proactive. Yes.
If you are proactive, it's possible to create 60 to 70%. It could be under your control. No? First of all, it cannot come. The unrest, even it comes, your ability to succeed, handle effectively, confidently is much more higher than otherwise, right? Yes or no? It is not a thing, I'm helpless. So union people are creating problems everywhere, every time it's into that kind of issues. It is in your own hand how you can handle it. Okay, any other question before I go to that? We already touched it. What are the causes in general for these strikes? The slide is in front of you. By and large, what could be the major issues? One reason we completed that we are not diagnostic in preventing it. You are not good in leadership. If I have to give a research kind of thing, the factor relating to industrial dispute are the strategies which can handle effective avoid industrial relationship, which you already seen it. The one single point we come to that the competency, transparency, and the leadership skill of the management in preventing by understanding and implementing the law could be one reason for avoiding the industrial dispute. One single sentence. If you have to write a thesis on that, you take it as a hypothesis and go and correct it. You can validate by meeting so many companies. You'll come to the conclusion, empirically proven conclusion, what Professor Bhaskaran said is correct. And in fact, any one of you want to do thesis, come to me. I'm also PhD thesis guide. That's all of you know that. What is the reason for industrial dispute in many countries? Now, what are the causes in general? Obviously, one is economic cause. Like you don't pay minimum salary, or they want always more salary because you already made a mistake of paying in every wage revision. Who told you to pay more than what he wants it? Every 3 years, he has got the right to ask for the industry pattern, 10, 11%, or whatever cost of living, all those things. Or you simply implement whatever the minimum salary, or simply implement whatever the wage board is given. Or bonus also, yes. Bonus dispute can be there in calculation between 8.33 to 20. Okay, don't go beyond 20. If you say 16, he may say 18. No, your calculation is wrong. You will say that the loss, he will say profit. So there could be a dispute, understandable dispute. From 16% to 18% or 14% to 18%, understandable. There is also provision for set off in bonus. There could be a lot of benefits. He wants that, lot of, pollution is coming. You give us some extra goggle to wear, or you give some shoe to wear, safety point of all those things. That's all you can do. And the wrong precedence, I already told you. You given more than what he deserves, though you're not supposed to give. So these are the economic reasons. He can ask more bonus, or some OT is allowed as per the Act 2%, and it's just because he has initially agreed, you are paying 1% or one and a half times. Who makes, then it will become a dispute in future. Who told you? Or OT you cannot keep more than beyond particular hours. You keep. So economic reasons could be wages, could be bonus, could be any benefits, could be any wrong precedents you created. That could be one reason for strikes. The second thing is, which we discussed at length, organizational cause. Whatever we are talking last second, half an hour is only that. Your communication, your unfair labor practices, your lack of transparency, your ineffective of communicating. You are not like Data Titan, he said. Whatever he said, is not doing it here. If you do all those things, you have a clarity of vision, you respect the union, you respect the employee, you respect the law, you respect communication, you don't do any unlever practices, you handle clearly, you don't have ego, you have a proactive strategy. If you have all those things, this is called, I put it, organizational cause. Again, these 5 dependent variable: economic cause, organizational cause, psychological cause, political cause, management leadership. All these 4 causes are accountable for industrial dispute. You do a research, you will come to the conclusion. 80% could be this one. Now, psychological causes. What is psychological causes? Employee feels that I've not been treated properly. I'm a fitter, they are paying me unskilled oilman's kind of salary. I'm not seeing any permanency of job, or people are trying to retrench me. Some kind of rumor people will take it out. Oh, the company is sick, so they are likely to retrench people, they are likely to terminate people, they are likely to close down that. So this psychological issue will be created again because there is no clear-cut, transparent communication from the top management to the, even with the worst time, communicate with them properly. No, if the company is going to the worst time, man, we are not decided to wind up, we are not trying to retrench it. We may get into that. Even if it comes at that, we will talk to you. We will go by last come, first go. All those issues, we'll talk it out. Talk to that guy psychologically. Don't allow him to come up and then fall prey to the union. There he is exploiting union. Union will exploit the psychological people, emotional. He will say, I'm likely to be thrown out. They're likely to retrench it. The job security will not be there. Union say, yes, it's possible. So there could be third issue, which may not be there. Actually, you are not planning to retrench. Maybe you are going, many businesses go through a lull at times. It may not be there, but the people create an issue. Third, political costs. So once this psychological issues, economic costs, not handled internally, like again Tata's, you don't handle it at the internal union people and encourage or nourish internal union. Rather, even you go to nourish the internal union. Don't treat them like an enemy. The moment you nourish the internal union, there is no need for a political from outside. If you don't nourish it, this guy, if you treat them like an enemy, this guy will try to strengthen the arm by getting from outside. Then it becomes all political cause. What Tata Titan, he said, if you do it, this political cause will not come in. Then the fourth one is management leadership. I told you, you have to be firm and relaxing. Where you have to be firm, I will not pay more than 20%, don't pay. I will not pay more than minimum salary, don't pay. Firm. Let him go to hell. Let him sit on strike for 10 days, 20 days. He can do let whatever land out of situation. Let's face it. If I have to do it, I will go to the mic and take down the mic. That guy, what the hell, I will not pay you. Do whatever you want. Take that kind of strong, where you have to be firm. Where you made a mistake, that you better be cool and relaxing. And like, for example, you already made a mistake of paying instead of 20 or 21%. Now, every time it comes, be goody to him, cool with him, handle, do all those kind, pay something less, whatever less you can do it, right? So you should know where you have to be firm, where we have to be relaxing. So again, leadership comes into play. Then, you know about all Tata Steel and Manesher, what happens? Any idea? Basically, we had theory Y kind of employee. They wanted more communication. They wanted more clarity. You know, theory Y employees, like most of the, in my time, you had a lot of uneducated workmen. Now we have a lot of educated workmen. Most of them ITI, well-educated, smart guys. He knows the law. He wants respect. So you need to handle him in a different manner. I'm sure Tata and all must be getting into that kind of thing. If those days, my time, 30, 40 years back, you had 80% of them unskilled people. It has got its own advantage and disadvantage. Now this will have its own advantage and disadvantage. These people will like to demand. No, why more than 8 hours roti? Why this kind of output? Why you are not giving this kind of law? I'm a fitter. You are giving me ailment salary. Why you are, not giving this extra safety benefits? All that he will ask. So you should be, Manesher, this is what happened. More generation Y employees start, and Manesher, another mistake they made. They were already paying more than what the law was giving. Whether bonus or benefits or gifts, they were very liberal in giving. Without understanding the Japanese and Indian cultural issues, they thought we are being too close to worker. They're paying more than what they demanded. And when you already did a precedence, when the people demanded more, then it has become an issue. So many people killed and died, all those things. At the end, finally, they have to come to the simple solution. The reason, according to me, was they given more than what they wanted to give. Generation Y employee, they started demanding more. The HR people could not respect, handle it them, that these guys need to be given the time and patience to hearing it. So the misunderstanding grown, ego has gone into a different level, and it went to the level of killing, and everybody spoiled that. This is what happened. Whereas in Tata Steel, it started very badly in the initial 1940, 50. It was that time it was treated as a socialist kind of total. Then they Tata capitalists are trying to do many kind of people, even people like Gandhiji, Nehru, everybody has had to get that kind of stake. Today, with many employee union, it's going very smooth because whatever we discuss, simple. There's a concept called stick to the basics. Yeah. Whether it's union, whether it's marketing management, HR, or anywhere in life, implement the basics effectively. IR, as like we discussed, We learn from your own people, whether Shivakumar, Madhav, or anybody else, stick to the basics effectively, you will be successful. If you don't stick to the basics effectively, you will get into trouble. Is it clear to you guys so far? So far, whatever we discuss up to 4 points, any questions I want you to take up instead of only I'm talking. Again, I congratulate to all of you guys. I'm happy that I have you as my student. You are able to catch up many things. This kind of whatever we discuss in a very concise and critical and professional manner, it's not easy to young students. You all of, I'm not saying that you are not young without having that kind of experience. I presume that all of you understood this concept, what we discussed. Have you understood what we discussed? Or am I only presuming that you understood? Come on. I want yes or no.
Yes.
The concepts are clear to you guys at a macro and micro level, right? This is the scenario like that. Correct. Now, what are the approaches theoretically? Theoretically, there are 3 approaches. Unitary approach means that we should always feel that there could be some misunderstanding. We are a family. I'm an engineer. Under me, there are 40 electrician, fitter, turner, unskilled work people are working. But still, I know I'm living in the colony. So we have a good understanding. But there could also be in the family that, in the family, what kind of misunderstanding happens. Everybody's likes and dislikes, even using husband and wife, using the AC and fan itself becomes a dispute. Yeah. Wife will say, I want to use the AC. Husband will say, no, it's very cold, don't use the AC. It can be always, it's a temporary aberrations, all those kind of things. So unitary means you believe that there is bound to be there between an engineer or between a chemist, between a salesman or marketing, it's going to be there, please understand. Similarly, there is going to be a between HR guy and also. So if you understand, it's called unitary approach. Let's respect misunderstanding, temporary aberration is likely to be there. Let's handle it effectively. This is called unitary approach. Theoretically, I'm giving a theoretical model. Then there is called pluralist approach. Pluralist approach says little more than this. It's inevitable, lot of conflicts will come. It is not that when you grow up with 100 people, 1,000 people, like you said, in Tata itself, they have issues. They once in a year, 3 years it will come up. There will be inevitable conflicts will come. Can we do it collective bargaining with respectively? Let's not remove the collective bargaining at the IR level, not the ER level. At the unitary could be at the ER level. Pluralist could be at the IR level. Can you do respect collective bargaining? And can you do that kind of things? That's the second. The third thing is totally the opposite, Marxist approach. Here it's not question of, inevitable and all those. It says the concept capitalist versus socialist. They go with this thing, capitalists are dominating. They are here to exploit. We are socialist people. We want to always demand more. Capitalists always want to take more. And we want to demand more. This becomes an approach, Marxist approach. Then it really goes into a big challenge. Whatever we discussed so far may not solve here when this kind of approach, union gets into Marxist approach, then it may require probably a different approach to wind up the company or close the company or do something like that, whatever it's called. Because they are working in a different, not at the employee grievance, not applying a temporary aberration, not applying the temporary conflict. He talks it to philosophical capitalist versus socialist. You guys are making more and we guys want more. So this is the third approach. So whenever the industry gets into the Marxist approach, the industry is definitely leading for a big trouble. Okay. So these are the approaches to handling this kind of thing. So the 6 pointers, like I already told you, in all those things, we ought to be leader. All of you know proactive, reactive. All of you know, no, this is a simple literary way. Let us not be, like averse to IR. Let us not to averse to ER. Let us not treat grievance, what these guys are talking. Let us not take somebody's creating a conflict or this thing. Let us not take it untouchable. These guys are known for that kind of. Believe, yes, there could be some, like patient is coming, crying that I have stomach pain. We believe in the family or doctor, you always say like a stomach pain, nothing like it. Patient knows, no, where is the pain? So we should be proactive. In the proactive only, if you are proactive, 70% of your problem is solved. If you are reactive, no, employees are bad. They are known for asking anything, and we are already paying more. Our industry standard salary is too high. You may be paying many things more, but there are something you may not have by oversight, you are not paid properly. So if your approach is proactive, if you are not reactive, the whole discussion, what we are trying to do, what is the objective of the discussion? IR can be improved. It is in your hand, IR situation can be improved. You can prevent industrial dispute. You can be a leader in preventing it. You can be a leader even in controlling union people. You can be a leader in controlling all those things. I have to do all the 6-7 points for a better peace, better trust and productivity. This is the whole discussion we are having, right? Correct. So some Jinsi is writing something. What is the Jinsi question? Can you ask the question, Jinsi? In the chat box, I can see something. Oh, there are many things.
Professor. So market penetration is a key, is something which I've heard even if it's not a manufacturing unit also, right? It's a normal concept that they bring in. That brings in a lot of dispute in the wages part. So I just wanted to know your perspective of what is market penetration when you look at it, and how does an employee kind of resolve that or identify and get back to the employer? Because right now, I think in majority of the cases, an employer says it's market penetration, so your wages will be cut or your wages will be low, right? So just wanted to understand from your perspective, do you have an insight to that?
Yeah, I can tell you. Don't worry. You ask any time under the earth, I'll give you all particulars. Now, Jinsi, first of all, market penetration means what? You are expanding the business. What is the literal meaning of market penetration?
Here, it's market penetration. This concept is used when they are doing the appraisals, right?
Okay.
During the appraisals is when this term is being used very frequently to majority of the employees.
Yeah, literally, what do they mean by market penetration? From your understanding?
From my understanding, I think it's to do with the experience of an individual and the salary benchmark. So if you have like 5 years experience and you belong to a particular sector, then this is your minimum and maximum that you can provide an employee.
In increment, you are talking about in terms of increment.
Yes,
right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Now there are 2-3 questions in senior there. Market penetration is a different word. It's not used in this HR. Market penetration is used. You want to get a new business. Like for example, you have been selling Nestle, for example, Lactogen milk powder for small babies. In Bangalore, you are selling it for 1 lakh pieces. So I want to penetrate into the market. I want to get into 2 lakh sales. Are you getting my point? In Bangalore, the babies say Nestle Lactogen 1 powder is getting sold 1 lakh pieces. The competitor is trying to come. I want to get into more into that. So I want to get into 2 lakh pieces. That's what we call market penetration. It is more used in marketing terminology. Okay. So when I get more market penetration, obviously more business, then I should be able to pay more salary to my employee. Now your question, what I can to say is that in the appraisal, what they say is that they have a stereotype kind of things. Like, they classify into different things. Particular qualification, particular experience, particular years of experience, I'll pay 10 to 12%. Pro rata, I will fix it like that. This is what you are trying to say, Jinsi?
No, but this is like, it's not uniform. So I feel that this term has been like misused is what I understood.
Right. That's what I'm saying. In HR, market penetration is not used in giving increment.
Okay, because this is what I've heard when
the moment Jinsi you say I got a good market penetration, then your payability goes more, then you have a little liberal in giving increment, right?
Yeah, ideal scenario, they are supposed to.
You can say that I lost the market. I was selling in 4 market, I lost 2 market. So my ability to goes down. So my increment overall will come down to this year. Like I'll tell you, I had one example. I had here only in Bangalore itself. I can even name that company. There's a company called John Distillery. It was around 2,000 working class people, maybe unskilled, semi-skilled. That's all. Okay, and mostly ladies also. The concerned manager will come up with the every time ad hoc kind of increment proposal. It was very challenging. That time I was the director HR of that company. He will say X and Y Z has to be given 30%. Some people will give 5%. Some people will give all those kind of things. Understand, there are 2,000 workers working in a distillery, mostly unskilled and semi-skilled kind of people. And every year increment has to be given. It was very smooth and going. The employees are very cordial and things like that. the department head will come and give an increment without any budget. He will give increment somebody 30%, he will come somebody 10%. His name also I remember, Rangarao. I remember that guy's name. I call that guy. I smartly dealt with it. Sir, your 2,000 people's monthly salary is coming to say 20 lakhs, for example. I can give you industry increment of 10% or 12% average. Okay. I just dealt with that guy. First of all, let's come to the conclusion how an industry can pay 10%, 11%, 9%, whatever the industry you study. So we come to the conclusion, sir, I can pay you 12% average. Now, how the hell you want to divide between your workers? You know, somebody you want to pay 30%, somebody 90%, you break it and come to me. But I will not allow you that without any reason you will not pay any increment to everybody, or without any reason you will not even pay 5% to somebody. Average my budget outflow cannot be more than 12%. Okay, 20 lakhs multiplied by 12% is the amount available to you. Now you divide. I will not even put an eye. I just smartly handle that guy and kill that guy only in one direction. Okay, now you break it. Second direction from my side. I don't mind you are giving more increment to some selected sort of people, but you cannot say that I will not even pay 5%, 6% to some kind of. So now this is how you have an increment budget based on your, okay, the same thing. Suppose that year I done much more. I could have given 15%. I could have given 20%. So I divide at the macro level. This year, we need at the end of the day fund. How do you decide my increment? I allocate a fund. This year, I am going to allocate so much money to be given it as an increment or other benefit to employee. Now, once I decided strategically, that has to be divided into. Okay, Jinsi, have I answered your question? Hello?
Yes, Professor.
Yeah.
No, I also felt that it is a kind of a more of a biased term that they use just to make sure that.
Right. Yeah, if you got more business, say, yeah, happy that this year, if I have done more business, I would say, yeah, that last year I given 18%. Yeah, this year you guys done very well. I'm going to give you 22%. I'm getting into the kitty. Now, 22%, how you people are going to break between you and your immediate subordinate HR guy, you break your head, bloody come to me. I don't want to waste my time. Similarly, if I lost a business due to pandemic, for example, I lost a business. Will I be able to give like a year before last year's 12% jump? I'll not be able to give, right?
Correct, Professor.
Yeah, this is how it has to be. So market penetration, they're using it wrongly. They are using it. Again, why? Already there is a communication gap. Why use unnecessarily word where the word has to be different, right? By bringing market penetration into HR, into salary, we are giving some more confusion into the communication. Correct?
Yes, Professor.
We should avoid communication to a logic. The industry people, they should speak in a very simple, pure words, especially when you're dealing with the manufacturing, even with ordinary employees also, even white collar people at a junior level also, you should not allow them to speak a complicated words. That becomes another one issue. Okay, guys.
Yeah.
Asked a good question. Yeah, please go ahead. Yeah, you want something else.
Yeah, Professor. I think this term was used, and so the people who I handled, right, they came back saying, why market penetration as a concept?
Jinsi, I never had in my career, to be very frank with you.
And no, for me, it is the first time I heard some feedback saying market penetration.
Market penetration good means pay more.
No, they said you are already on a higher market penetration rate, so we cannot pay you more.
Oh, you're not market penetration. You are saying that as per already market industry pattern for an unskilled level, this is the market prevailing salary. Okay. They're not using the word penetration.
No, they use the term market penetration as a concept.
What they meaning is market prevailing salary. You conduct a salary revision, right? Market salary.
Correct.
So one way to increase your increment pattern is to study every once in 2 years. What is the market prevailing salary for the kind of salary? Okay. Now I understood your question better. So we have already studied market prevailing salary in the industry is X. You are already getting X plus. Hence, this year I can, whosoever is getting more than market salary, I will not be able to pay good increment. That is fair enough. Provided you already undertaken a market salary survey. So the word is not penetration, market prevailing salary survey. Are we both of us are good at it, Jansi, now?
Yes, but this was not something I don't think they had any
No,
survey or anything done. It's just
but
a
that's
huge
what
term.
literally they are coming. So colloquially they are trying to use, na? Literally,
Yes.
at least both of us are very clear now. They are trying to say market salary survey.
Correct.
You have to benchmark, right? For good or bad, you
Yes.
have to benchmark. Good.
Yes.
So that if you pay as per the market salary, people will not leave you. If you pay less than the market salary, people will leave you, or people will demand more. So
Yeah, I think that's one of the reasons why you see a high attrition rate.
obviously, when you pay more less, that is why good HR department should, one of the key area of the department is that if, or for all the critical position, at least once in 2 years, they conduct a market survey. What is the similar position, the similar industry they are paying? What is the prevailing salary? Am I paying more or less? Why people will work for you for less, tell me? By and large. Unless Tatas, they give not only, even Tatas, why they are working? Not for less salary. They pay monetary, non-monetary put together, maybe much higher than so-called monetary higher up X industry. So any case, employee, you're getting, there's the one thing is paying only the salary part of it. That's the monetary part of it. There are many non-monetary part of it. Your working comfort, your relationship, your role clarity, your love and fun of working. This all you have to put it now. Monetary plus non-monetary is equal to compensation. Tata's, the monetary per se may not be too high, but people are not leaving. They want to be happily working because monetary plus non-monetary put together as a compensation, Tata is much more than monetary, non-monetary of given in Reliance. I didn't want to use the word, but I'm using the word. Am I making the point clear to all you guys?
Yes, Professor.
Yes.
Yeah. So employees will look for monetary and non-monetary. They may not be knowing, but once they're used to it, they will use it. They will like it. You pay more salary, big CTC, and your job security is not itself is there. The role clarity itself is not there. For short term, I'll get a big salary, monetary, and the whole thing of non-monetary of your peace and happiness and certainty is not there. Will I look for that kind of job? Will you like that kind of job, Jinsi?
No, Professor. I think stability is something which
Yeah,
all of us look for.
Good stability means not that we want to be burdened. We want some
correct.
understandable role clarity, understandable target achievement. All those things we wanted, right? Now, somebody gives you. I have seen in one of my experience in pharma industry in Ahmedabad. They pay you like anything. Without even understanding, there's no scope for that guy to perform to that kind of salary. Then after 6 months down the line, they'll say, oh my God, I'm paying 40 lakhs CTC to this guy. He's not able to make this thing. I used to think, why the hell you paid him 40 lakhs? There's not scope for him to produce 40 lakhs kind of return. So management thinks that, oh, I'll pay high salary, bring the best of the guy. But the management kills himself also, and kills the employee. The employees are so stupid. Without understanding that you negotiate salary, man, you also understand, will I be able to deliver to that level? All of you guys, I'm giving you a piece of advice. Whenever you go for a new job with a high salary, you negotiate for a high salary. But please make sure, is there any scope for me to contribute? That level. You are competent, but there may not be scope for you to contribute. Okay. Anyhow, we are giving little, not a IR at industry level, we are going at your level IR. I don't know what is that level, employee engagement level. Okay. Any other question? So far, whatever discussed, any question? Come on, guys. Now, how do you know about the other? I also wanted to take about some of the actual examples, which we already discussed. Okay, now you want to break for 10 minutes? Because it's a very challenging subject to go through. Do you want to have a 10 minutes break?
Yes, Professor, we can take this.
Okay, you can take. Now 11:15, you back by 11:30, we will be there. I'll give you 15 minutes. Okay, done. Take care. Hello, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes, Professor.
Can you hear me? Can we start? All of you are back? Had your tea?
Yeah, Professor.
All of you are
Yes,
tea?
Professor, we can start. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, guys, I'll start with you one very serious example. I want your answer. You have 500 employees working in one of your steel industry. Okay. You have a strong union. Strong union is collectively negotiating on many points. They want 10% increase in your salary and something. One very important point they are pressing that after the death or resignation of the existing employee, their ward should be given a job at the unskilled and the semi-skilled level. 500 employees are okay. Many points put for negotiation. One point put for negotiation is that after the retirement or death, somebody dies during the employment, so that guy's son or whosoever ward should be given an employment based on the qualifications up to unskilled and semi-skilled level. Or after retirement, everybody should be given a job from that one. This is the kind of demand one union is putting, and putting all pressures internally, externally. How will you handle it? Have you got my question clear, all of you guys? Is the question clear? If not clear, please tell me, then I'll again rephrase it.
No, Professor,
It is
question is clear.
Clear. No,
It
no,
is
what did
clear.
yeah, one of you explain. Shivkumar said, what is the question I said? Explain the question again back so that everybody can answer this question. What is the question I raised, Shivkumar? Or Lakshmi Narayan, who's ever? Yeah, Lakshmi Narayan says, in case of death, I'll consider. In case of retirement, will not consider. No, union is putting full pressure. You have to do, otherwise I'll go on strike. I'll join with a state level, political level. I'll use a political cause. I will use my other unions at various states. I will not allow your factory to run, close down.
Professor, I think you can also keep, so the request from them can be validated if the company can also put a negotiation fund, right? Saying the employee, that is your after retirement or after death, if your wards need to get a job, the basic qualification should be this much, so that they know that they're hiring at least these individuals for those roles. That could be one way to look at it.
Okay, great. Go ahead. You know, before that, I question a lot more. This exactly happened with the bank union. Bank union people at the all India level, they put pressure on the government. Our people should be given a job. Managerially, what is the plus or minus? As per the IR, how you do it, and as per the constitution, where do you come? That's got three implications. Indian bank industry, clerical staff people, they demanded that we should be given employment. How far correct this kind of demand? Is it legal? Is it legal? Is it legal?
Professor. Yeah, Professor. As per my opinion, in case of death, as a constitutional, as a legally, as a labor act, we'll consider.
In case of death, you say that we will consider to give it. We'll consider to give, provided your qualification, everything meets with all the kind of jobs and all those things.
Yes.
Okay.
But in case of retirement, the law will not also agree, and as per the constitutional also.
Yeah.
But my opinion is, as per the terms of the employment at the time of joining, what we have given a terms and conditions, based on that will go. At the time of retirement, only the employee who retired, he will get the benefits of the retirement benefits only. Then other than that, he will not get anything.
Very good. Man. So he can get his gratuity, he can PF, he cannot ask his son to be employed or anything.
He doesn't have any right to ask his child or his sons will be get the same employment in his previous company or any bank also.
Okay. Anybody like to add? He said a good point. He says that you take your own legal benefit, man. Whether PF, PSA, unpaid salary or notice salary, whatever it is there, you take it. Leave encashment, whatever you take it. But I'm not supposed to give you job. That's his stand. Anybody else?
Professor, what law says actually that Labor Act, what will say in this context? We need to understand that.
Good, Patila. You tell me, attempt, what labor law will say?
I'm not sure, Professor, for that only.
Labor law will say that's it only. Add the benefits you will get at the time of retirement, that will only have the right to get. That's it.
Correct. Like what he said is very correct. Labor law say, what is labor law? Whatever is gratuity payment, whatever is PF dues, help them to get it. Whatever is unpaid leave, cash it.
Yes, everything.
See, this is what labor law will say. 1, 2, 3, 4. Calculate everything, pay it in a month's time. Pay it in a month's time. That's also labor law will say. If you pay delayed payment, pay him interest. Okay, this is what the labor law will say. But again, I'll twist this question. They made you also to sign the agreement, like bankers, some militant unions. They made you to sign an agreement saying that, yes, we will pay the wardship employment. Then they have to give an employment, right?
Yes. Then at that time we have to. At that time we have to consider.
That have to pay. So first of all, there was no need for them to sign the agreement. Initially, it will go, but militant unions to put the gun or they put pressure or whatever, and some weak management also agreed to that, signed it. Okay. Even in the banking industry, they were trying to do that. Now, what is the remedy which has come? Beautiful remedy.
So I have one question. If it is forcibly they are signed that agreement, that is not consent, right?
Forcibly means they will say, finally, at the end of the day, all SAN people, force must have used it, you signed it. Not 5 people from the
That agreement will not a valid, right? Wide contract.
Correct. That's why. But it's not. It is not shown. It is like a forceful, nah. You shown your force at the end of the day in presence of the labor commissioner. You signed.
Okay.
Right. The labor commissioner also to avoid his own peace. He is interested in take care of his own job, his own peace that time. He is not interested about the company. Correct. Nah.
Yeah.
So he said, and once you signed it, whether it's forced or this thing, it has become like as if it's not forced.
But at that time only he has the right to put a pill on.
Not to sign. Not to sign.
Not to sign.
Not to
go
sign.
on. No, don't go on forcibleness.
No, not to sign. Not to sign. Don't sign. He will go on strike. It will be an illegal strike.
That's correct.
Okay. Suppose if you are not signing on this agreement, if he goes on this one, that will be called illegal strike. Then on illegal strike, you have the right to go on a legal lockout. Are you getting my point? How we mess up? Suppose if you sign the agreement, your hand is cut.
Correct.
if you not signed the agreement, if he goes on strike, no, you are not signed the agreement, we are going on strike. That will be an illegal strike. If it's an illegal strike, he cannot ask for his salary for the period went on strike. Supreme Court judgment is there. No work, no salary. Because it's an illegal strike. If it's a legal strike, it's okay. Now, on based of illegal strike, you will be able to handle him, no salary, no work, and also you can go for a legal lockout. Okay.
I agree, sir.
Okay. Now, anybody else would like to add? But there's one very interesting judgment has come, which all of you should know. Very interesting judgment. Anybody would like to add anything to this point? Then I'll tell you the judgment. You should know. All of you should know the judgment. Supreme Court has come with a beautiful judgment. He said this agreement has been. Madhu, you want to say something?
Professor, in this scenario, if they forcefully signed, the company they may create the policy. They cannot give the employment on blind. They can conduct the interview, and who is capable candidates, they can offer the job to their family members as well.
The Madhu, that could be a suggestive kind of things, no? That if everything goes well, preference will be given to employ children in filling the maximum lower level jobs based on their qualification and the vacancy. This is what you are trying to say, no? There's no harm in writing in that agreement. There's no harm in writing that agreement. I will close my eyes and the agreement. Preference will be given to employees' sons, employees' wards based on their qualification, based on the company's vacancy. Preference will be given. Vacancy and your suitability, preference will be given. If this kind of word putting is nothing wrong in it, right? It's not a mandatory, it's a suggestive kind of things.
Yes, Professor.
But saying that I retired yesterday, tomorrow my ward should be given a job. Correct. You give unskilled job. They say, we don't mind. Even that kind of job, they're not asking for a career. They want a job only. Nah. You give an unskilled job, even if you give an unskilled peon, they are okay with it. Or a clerk. So if you signed it, you're supposed to do it. I like he said, you can also say force. It's a forcible agreement, void agreement, yes. But it's a void agreement, but then you're not taking it up, right? After signing the agreement, you could have taken it to the court. So they have been forcibly done it, so we cancel the agreement. You could cancel the agreement. Cancel the agreement, again they will continue the strike. Correct? Now where is the solution? Anybody like to add something?
No, there is no solution, Professor. It's
Hey,
continuous.
No. If I give you solution, what will you give me? Tell me. If such situation comes, first of all, Supreme Court has come up with a very good judgment on this case only. Under the Constitution, there are fundamental rights. Everybody has got the fundamental right to, express, talk, work, all those things. So under the fundamental right, if Shivkumar's son is going to get employed in that company, so Bhaskar and son will not have the fundamental right to go and compete in that company. So the Supreme Court said, this kind of agreement is ultra virus, null and void, keeping in view the fundamental rights of other people.
Correct. I agree.
It's a good judgment has come from Supreme Court. Like for example, now the Kisan strike, blocking the road and all in Delhi. The Supreme Court said, yes, you have the right to express your freedom. You can go on a strike. You have all the right to do all those kind of things. But at the same time, you cannot go to the level of stopping others' fundamental right to freely move for a long time. Are you getting my point or not?
Yes.
Supreme Court recently has suggested, saying that you have the right to go on strike. You can express under the fundamental right, you have all the right to go on strike, express, demand. But what about other guy's fundamental right? How long will block the road? Is it not against the fundamental right of the other guy? Similarly, the Supreme Court here said, okay, you have the fundamental right to ask for. Similarly, Bhaskar and son also wants a job, fundamental right. XY said, Jinsi's family member also wants a job. Anybody wants a job. So if by just binding you, nobody will get it. It's like an empire created for you only. Nobody's fundamental right will be taken care of. It's only your empire. You go, your son will go, your son will go, your son will go. So that empire is created. So fundamental right of getting an equal job and equal industry is a nullified. Hence, this kind of agreement, even if it is signed forcefully or willingly or legally, this agreement has been declared by the Supreme Court as a ultra virus, null and void. Don't you think it's a good judgment?
Yes, it's very good. Yes.
So now nobody can. No, now the banking and nobody, because bank at all, you don't know legal, the clerical level association is too strong, too large, too wide. And few years back, it was very strong. Now, okay, technology has diluted the strength to a large extent. Maybe 15, 20 years back, we are partially technology, partially we are depending too much of a manual work and this kind of thing. They were very strong. Union was very, very strong. So they could have put and got that agreement signed. In fact, only on the bank when it went up to Supreme Court. As I told you guys, I don't know, one of the source of the law is the judgment given by the Supreme Court also becomes a law. Law is formed by the parliament. Law is formed by the state legislature. Okay, that is to be implemented. And there are many ways when this kind of ultra virus happens, Supreme Court comes and says, even by the government or by anybody, nonsense, it's ultra virus, null and void, it cannot be implemented, then that becomes a law. So that becomes a nice solution to all the militant unions. Okay, yeah, always they can put a clause. Preference should be given to our employees against the suitability, against the vacancy. For at least the management will be compulsory. If there are 10 vacancies are there, there are 20 applications are there, you call them, conduct the interview, prove them and do it or not do it, give them. That is okay. Agreement says preference will be given to employees' wards for a suitable vacancy against their competency to a large extent. Okay, then the implication is that whenever the vacancy is there, you take the pool of employees, this thing, interview and take it or reject it. That's okay. But compulsorily giving one after another succession. So the Supreme Court has come out clearly. Okay, it's a very good point. Now, do you want to ask any such questions? Instead of I am giving my own examples. Raise few questions. I have few questions for you.
I think that's why in government agencies and all earlier they had father, then they give some family members. Now I think most of the time they stopped.
I mean, they can give
stopped everything. Now they stopped
on a compassionate ground. You guys are not death. It's called compassionate ground. Compassionate, not compensate. On a compassionate ground, you have somebody died, engaged, there's a vacancy, and they're also they try to fit in as if newly recruited, not as a right. But even compassionate ground, when court may not come into that ultra virus. Can the court come and say, as a justice, no, I will not. No. Compassionate ground, they may agree. Even though today it takes place. It should take place.
Okay. Because
Correct.
the financial.
Correct. It should take place. It should take place. Even private industry, public industry, government, everybody would like to do that. But this kind of putting pressure, multi-unions and dominant political union, on a large level you have a stake. You think that any multinational will come and invest in India if that's the kind of thing?
No. Nobody will come.
Nobody will come to invest that kind of. So that's it. So anyhow, I wanted to ask any more such examples here. I'll also give you some few more questions for you people to ponder over. If you have some question, please tell. Anybody want to ask any question?
Professor, can you just talk about the Nokia incident thing? Like they stopped it, then the political IR, I think it become more political, then they restarted and all. I'm not aware much about that.
No. What exactly you want us? You wanted the plan to be restarted? I want the employee to be reinstated? There are many issues.
How was that IR? There are a lot of dispute, rights. Like they removed the workers, and then I think it became more a political agitation kind of thing. Then they restarted and all. So how they come up with resolving that issue? Just want to understand.
So Nokia, what happened is that when you are removing employee, on what ground you remove? One is retirement. Very good. Nobody starts it. 2 years, few employees steals or misbehaves or something it does it. Then you go through, charge it, inquiry, suspend, and dismiss it. Nobody can enter. Again, like initially I started, no? You don't stick to the basic. The court says, government says, label says, you dismiss anybody. But transparently show the social natural justice is given. What is social justice? Even 1 guy or 10 guy, they went into the, hampering the company's property or anything like that. Charge it. Put a notice board. Put in a newspaper. Conduct an inquiry. They will not cooperate in inquiry. Bring some government advocate into picture. Do all those things. Dismiss that guy. No court can say to implement it. What you do is in Nokia case and all those things, you on your promoter, you just dismiss them, and you already mix up the word termination with a retrenchment. When employee goes out, in fact, I given the last slide also. One is employee is retiring, no issue. Employee resigning, no issue. Okay, you are terminating, you have to go through the process. Okay, our employee is long sick, he is not able to go, goes on loss of pay and leave and then goes. These 4 or 5 ways employee gets relieved from the company. Either termination through charge it, or a retirement, or a resignation, or a long sick leave. The 5th one is called retrenchment. Retrenchment meaning by when the business come to halt. I used to run 4 plants, now I have to run 3 plants. There is no uptake of my business. I cannot sell it more. My business is getting winded up. Then the government has given you provision to retrench the employee. I have 500 employee. I am going to retrench 100. They have not done any chargeting. They have not done any misconduct. But I have to retrench because of my business needs. How do we retrench? There is a procedure. Sir, there are 500 employees. My business is for only 200, 300 people. Last come, first go. This is the list of last come, first go. I have to appeal to the government. I have to get the government approval. Then pay the all every year of suppose 200 people. I'm going to retrench it. The last come, first go. And then 20 years, 15 years, they worked it for every year, 15 days of retrenchment compensation, along with other dues, your gratuity, leave encashment, whatever. You paid everything. In Nokia case, it could have been smooth. But what they thought is the retrenchment, but they have not complied with the retrenchment the way I told you very clearly. It was understood as a sort of termination. It was understood, management took a revenge on it. Though it could have been a genuine case. My business is not there, what will I do? I'm not terminating the guy. I would retrench. Industrial Dispute Act provides for retrenchment, but will they comply with the retrenchment in the retrenchment procedure? Have I applied the government? Have I proved that my business is lost? Have I prepared the list of last come, first come? Have I given all 15 days salary for every year of service when people retrenching? Have I given along for retrenchment compensation? Have I given all those things? Then legally, nobody could have come and helped it. If I have not done it, then the court will come and interfere, or the labor commissioner will come and interfere. Okay.
Okay, Professor. Yeah.
Okay. Anybody else? So now what is asked this question is that all of you understand the concept of retrenchment. Okay, I just wanted to tell you guys, the terminology is called retrenchment. Clear na retrenchment? Retirement, clear. Resignation, clear. Okay. Long leave when people goes on leave, it's clear. Okay. Termination because of charge eating is clear. Retrenchment doesn't come under all those things. Retrenchment is business loss or sometimes loss of contract. Yeah.
What is the difference between VRS and retrenchment?
Yeah, voluntary VRS is like a retirement only, resignation only. It's mutually, worked out a mechanism to induce that guy to retire. Again, I'll tell you, voluntary retirement is not a legal one. It's a mutually accepted one. Suppose I given a voluntary retirement. After everybody who has got 15 years of service, who's in the age of 40, 55, can retire, resign, I'll pay. It's a contract act. I'm giving an offer. You are supposed to accept it. Even after the act even after the notification comes into effect, I can withdraw the VRS scheme. You can also not avail the VRS scheme. So VRS scheme is a mutual suggestive scheme worked between the employee and employer. It has not got a legal mandatory one, but both of you can give a legal mandatory to that one. Are you getting my point?
Okay.
Okay. It's not a legal one. Please understand. You are working out. Employer is giving an offer under the Contract Act. Yeah, I want to float a voluntary retirement scheme. Yeah. Anybody whose age is between 45 to 50, anybody who's worked more than 10 years of service, I'll pay at the rate of this much salary. Anybody can submit the resignation and then I'll pay. It's a sort of resignation. It's an induced resignation.
Okay.
It's a sort of yeah.
Where in retrenchment that salary they are paying on month or single time, one time settlement?
Only one time. Retrenchment, suppose you work for 20 years. Okay. Now for each 20 years, 15 days salary.
Oh, what they already worked, not remaining years.
Not for future. Not for future. That is law. Okay. There you cannot manipulate anything. In VRS, you can work out whatever you feel like. Because there's no law like in VRS. Retrenchment, there is a law. VRS, your own arrangement, mutual arrangement. VRS says, suppose X is getting retrenched of 20 years of service because of business permission. Business is not there. Government has given approval to retrench to 200 people. This guy is one of the last come, first go. So this X comes under all three categories. He is the last one, has to go first. The government has already given permission to do because my business is not there. Now he worked for 20 years. 15 days for 20 years comes to how many? 10 months salary. Plus his 10 months is eligible for gratuity. Is whatever leave encashment, whatever last month left out salary, plus whatever 1 month notice salary, all those to be ordered and paid to that. Then only the retrenchment settlement is complete. 4 things he has to be paid. One is retrenchment compensation at the rate of 15 days salary for 20 years. His gratuity, whatever applicable, that is again 15 days for 20 years. His last month salary, anything pending, his leave encashment pending, plus 1 month notice salary as per the appointment letter. Normally, people understand 1 month appointment dismissal means by giving 1 month anybody dismiss. No. That 1 month notice is in case of retrenchment. After adding all those things, you give that 1 month notice salary also along with it. Is that clear to you guys?
So the retrenchment compensation will be of 15 days salary for
per year
basis of current salary or
current salary at the time of retrenching. At the time of retrenching. Suppose his salary today is 20,000. So per day salary you take out 20,000 divided by 26. Single day salary you get it. Multiplied by 15 days per year of service. Multiplied by number of years of service.
Professor, I have a doubt on this.
Yeah.
Is it calculated gratuity? I know on basic they will calculate, but this retrenchment compensation will be calculated on the basic salary or full total gross salary?
No, only on basic.
Basic, right?
Basic plus DMS.
Basic plus DA. Yeah. That to be variable DA, not fixed.
No, yeah, correct. But they explain. I told you, last year, every act explains salary differently. Yeah. If you ask me, I will not be able to give you right now. Salary under PF Act is what? ESA Act is what? Some
Yeah.
act
IT is different. So many things.
No, not IT. In the minimum wage itself, like some one act will say OT to be included as a salary.
Correct.
One act will say house rent should not be included. One act say all special allowance should be included.
Correct.
So each act there is a definition of salary in the beginning.
Correct. ESI will include
We'll say
everything.
different.
ESI will include everything. PF will not include everything.
PF will say that everything
Only
except
basic and DA.
Different act says different salary. So unless you won't open the designation of salary for that particular act, you will get into trouble. Okay, guys. Any other question? So retrenchment is clear. What is layoff? Yeah, there are some terms. Since we touched the terminology part of it, let's understand terminology. Retrenchment is clear to you. Strike, lockout, What is layoff?
Termination of employees.
Termination of employees, layoff. Partially right, partially wrong.
ATL.
Sorry?
ATL.
Sorry, I'm not getting you.
Asked to leave.
I can give you an example. See, last year when COVID came, so many companies, they have done a layoff. What I can say, I mean, they have terminated people saying layoff. So this is an example where I wanted to quote. Because of the situational force, they're going to lay off.
Sir, it's not actually a termination, but
correct.
When a company is not able to pay or means do not have enough means to give them salary.
Yeah.
In a department, termination is not a exact way to say of layoff.
The moment you put termination, you'll get into serious trouble.
Yes.
Like
sir.
I told you again, I told you guys, retirement, no issue. Resignation, I said, no issue. Long-term sick, finally not able to come, and you are leaving the service, no issue. Okay. Termination, I said only by charging.
Termination based on any integrity, legal issues.
Any integrity, legal or gundagiri or ethical issue, gundagiri, undue insubordination, what you call going against, conniving against the company
policies, company's framework.
Whatever. You can charge it him under any class as per your standing order. Indifference to company, indiscipline, being a threat to the fellow employee, anything. So the termination is that. Retrenchment is also clear, like a loss of business. Only the line between layoff and retrenchment is once for all, you close that guy. Okay. Suppose I have 500 employees working in my company. Last year, due to this only, let's say this pandemic, my business has come out. I divided to close the one share, 2 production hall. So one production hall employee, I retrenched it. So there is no relationship between me and that retrenched employee for the time being. Number one, suppose after 5 years, I start the plan, I have a moral obligation to invite that guy. Will you be interested in coming back as a new employee? Get that point. I have 500 employees, 3 production shelter. 1 production shelter, I decided to close it because it's not feasible. So accordingly, I have not terminated that 1 production guy. I retrenched them. Okay. I retrenched that guy. So the relationship between me and him is gone. I paid all his dues. But there is also clause. Tomorrow, in case after 5 years, I start the 3rd shelter, I'm under the moral obligation to invite that guy. Would you like to come and join? He may come, he may not come. I may pay that kind of salary that time prevailing. Now the layoff is the same example. I'm not retrenching him permanently. I'm laying off for the time being. Pandemic is there. Next 6 months, I really don't know whether I'll be able to start or resume. So I hereby lay you off. I'm not paying you any compensation, retirement compensation or anything. Let's watch the situation. Maybe we will resume the work after 3 months. Maybe we will go towards retrenchment. Right now, I'm not retrenching. Right now, I'm not concluding our relationship. Right now, I'm not paying you retrenchment compensation. Right now, temporarily, I am laying you off due to business and financial constraints. How temporarily? 3 months, 6 months, 1 year, I don't know. And it cannot be for a long time layoff. It has to be reasonable time. Maybe 3 months, maybe 6 months. You cannot lay off the guy for 5 years. You can lay him up temporarily without paying retrenchment, without closing their employer-employee relationship. Is that clear to you guys? So lay-up, retrenchment goes together. Retrenchment is by and large if you are permanently close the relationship. In case of lay-up, you are not at closer. It may go towards that.
But sometimes,
guys,
Professor, sometimes during layoff also we pay some. I think companies pay some severance package or something, and they
layoff. It could be a mutual kind of things. But as per the law, there is some provision. You have to pay some subsistence allowance, 45%, 50%. So law pays. It's a sort of retaining allowance, or 25% you are supposed to pay, which I don't know exactly the kind of amount.
I think that most of the companies pay for 2 months salary or 1 month salary if they're laying it off.
Or they'll pay some certain percentage every month.
Yeah, you can pay 2 months layoff or something like that. Now, the difference between layoff and retrenchment. Is it clear, guys?
Yes, Professor.
I think we could not hear what you were telling. I mean, a minute ago, there was a network
issue. Network. No, on what you want to know, layoff or retrenchment? You want to know, Rohit?
Sir, I want the answer for.
Yeah, you were concluding something about that.
Yeah. As in case of retrenchment. In retrenchment, you concluded that. Still, it's not clear. Not coming. 1 second. Let me reset the. Is it better now?
Yes, Professor.
It's better now, right?
Yes,
okay. Okay, now, as I said, retrenchment is concluding the employee-employee relationship, and you are also already paying the full compensation. Only thing is, you may call them tomorrow. If you reopen it, you invite. There's nothing like that. You are supposed to invite as per the act, and that guy, there is no compulsion from that guy to come and join with you. In case of layoff, you have not retrenched. It's a temporary suspension of factory. Temporarily, I'm not able to give you job. Temporarily, I'll pay you some 2 months allowance, or I will pay some 25%, 50% of the salary or something like that. And the layoff period cannot go for a long time. So like somebody said, maybe 6 months, maybe 3 months. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Correct? Clear? Clear or not clear? Please tell me. The difference between layoff and retrenchment. Is it clear? Retrenchment is by and large closing the relationship. Retrenchment is also, I'm also down with COVID infection. It cannot be. Jinsi, how? What is your question you're asking? Jinsi, your question. You're chatting, I could see something. As I told you guys, I have 500 employees, 3 shelters, production center. 1 shelter I'm closing. I don't know whether I'll be able to start it in 3 years or 5 years time. So I'm retrenching all those 200 people by paying the retrenchment compensation. For the time being, my relationship between employer and employee is closed. Okay. Number 1. Number 2.
Eligibility for retrenchment or something?
Eligibility for retrenchment is, I said, last come first go. Suppose I have to retrench only 100 employees. Out of 200 employees, I have 200 employees. I decided to retrench 100 employees. Now, how will I select that 100 employees?
So it doesn't matter how long the employee has worked in the organization.
That's what I said. Last come first go. Whosoever the latest entry will go in the first list.
Okay.
I use the word last come first go. As per the restructuring procedure, out of 200 employees, 100 need to be retrenched. Whosoever the latest appointment, you can say. Last come is first go is whosoever the latest entry, not the senior one. Whosoever the junior most latest entry, they will come into the list and they will get the retrenchment compensation. They'll get their gratuity. They'll get all the dues. They will also get 1 month salary. So for the time being, by and large, my employment relationship with him is over 90%. 10%, if I restart that plant, I may invite, you may come, that's it. But in layup, my relationship still continues. I'm not paying you any compensation. Is it clear to you guys now? Hello, all of you clear?
Yes, bro. Yeah.
We discussed about layoff, we discussed about retrenchment, we talked about retirement, resignation, we discussed about termination. Okay, we discussed about long term this one. We also talked about the word called, which I told you the first example, it's called heirship appointment. You know, somebody is asking, my son should be given a job, it's called heirship appointment. H-E-I-R, heirship appointment. That is a technical word they used to use, now that's gone. Okay, any other question? Or any other question, any other issue you want to ask me, or I'll ask you questions on this subject or some other subject, or on your examination or something related, because you have 20 minutes time left. How you want to use the time?
Yes, Professor. With regards to examination, we just wanted to ask, like, if you can tell like important concepts where we can concentrate more, and how we can go ahead for the preparation of the exams, things like that.
Okay, I'll tell, definitely I'll tell you. See the question pattern, all of you know ABC section. C section is going to be 45 mark case left. Okay. A section, I think 5 marks, some 15 marks or something. B section is descriptive, in between 30 marks. All of you should concentrate more on the case study. 45 marks, you should be able to write well. And one from training and development, one from performance management, one from selection. Okay. I'll also, if you want, I can give you, not exactly, because I don't know which the institute is going to pick up. What I am proposing them to pick up the case study, I can share with you guys. Are you getting my point? But which one the administration is going to pick up, I don't know. I am going to give you a caselet from performance management, training and development, selection. Out of this thing, any one will come. But I'm not sure which one they are going to give. That is one. Two, the section A would be very basic questions like, what is the training and development? What do you mean by IR? What do you mean by ER? What is the difference between performance appraisal, performance management? What is selection? What is talent management? Okay, like this, some very basic, simple questions will come in the section A. Okay, what are the training evaluation method? What is the training need analysis method? Okay, what do you mean by KRA? What do you mean by KPI? This kind of basic questions will come in your section A. Predominantly, I'll ask you more questions in these three areas only: training, performance appraisal, selection, and the ER 1 or 2 questions. The B section would be little more expanded one. Can you design a training program for a marketing sales group of executives? That kind of, let's put the same theory, put it in a more application oriented one, so that you guys can write it more on an application. In other words, except that section A, which will carry 15 marks or something, for 5 marks, I think, 3 questions, 15 marks. That is only true theoretical, basic, simple concept question. B section would be more applied based on the theory. C section would be more on a caselet. Is that clear? And the caselet which I am likely to use, any one of you guys gave mail ID or something, tell me, I'll just share you a few of the caselet which I'm proposing to the institute for questions. Any question? And whatever you got all good marks in assignments, finally all put together will be you will grade it. Okay? Any question? All those chat mail and all, I'll not be able to remember. You send it to my WhatsApp, your mail ID. Abbas and Lakshminarayan, whoever is writing, send your mail ID to my WhatsApp. You all of you have my mobile number, right? If you don't have my number, I'll give you. Or my mail. Okay, guys, any question? Anything on exam related or anything? I've already given you. Lakshmanarayan. Come on, guys. Questions. Otherwise, I have to do something else. Which are the core labor laws to avoid dispute? How many labor laws you are aware of it? Which has got a core implication on your IR? Contract Labor Act is definitely yes. 40-50% of the issues today can come up from the Contract Labor Act. The act itself is called Contract Labor Abolition and Regulation Act. Meaning by government doesn't want contract labor to be employed by the industry. Okay. The Contract Labor Act itself is called Contract Labor Abolition and Regulation Act. Number one, government if possible want to avoid contract labor, abolish. If it cannot be avoided, then contract labor government wants to regulate it so tightly. Have you understood? So if you don't, that means if that is objective of the government, we have to be very careful. Otherwise, we'll get into trouble. Then the second act where mostly you get into trouble is Industry Dispute Act. You terminate a guy by mistake, you don't go through the process, and then 10-20 employees will join hands together, and that 10-20 will come up with not only his termination, they'll come up with 10 more other issues. You are not paid OT rightly, you are not paid this allowance correctly, all those issues come. So Industrial Dispute Act is mainly concerned with how do you go about disciplining, conducting employee, conducting charge it. That's the second one. And the Wages Act, whatever wage fixed by the wage board or the wage settlement or the minimum wages act, if it's not paid, that tax comes in tax. Bonus Act, like 8.33 to 20%, set up, set on, how do you calculate, all those acts comes into. There are many acts, there are more than 15-20 acts. There are few major acts which has got a hold on you. Wages Act, Contract Labor Act, Bonus Act, PF Act, ESI Act, Graduate. It will have a major implication on it. Okay.
Professor, is it the industry relationship IR departments, those are HR with legal background, or they always have legal background in it?
Good question. See, nowadays we are trying to divide between HR and IR. And most of the industry, I mean to say, this kind of issues will not come to your IT kind of industries, marketing organization, or all those kind of things. But if you go to any of the Tata Steel or manufacturing, electrical items, or pharmacy, or sugar, alcohol, 70% it is going to be IR. So the guy, HR guy or IR guy, who's whatever designation, has to be expert in IR, labor laws. One of the competency required for HR manager or IR manager in the manufacturing industry, be it a steel, alcohol, rubber, estate, or any industry, 70% of his job will be concerned with IR. Our modern day job, digital marketing, e-commerce, and all those places, IR may not have that kind of major role, because people may not even take shelter in IR issues. There's no cause of action. Okay. Have I answered your question?
Yeah, yes, Professor. Yes.
Yeah. So people say that I'm too good at HR. I know competency mapping, I know employee engagement, I know all those kind of PCMM 5 level kind of employee level, or Wipro is certified with PCMM 5. I'm a best employer concept, employee engagement, all those hi-fi concepts in HR is very good, which plays a major role. But in manufacturing industry, first of all, take care of your IR. I'm not saying manufacturing, you cannot use all this thing. Use that, it will give you double benefit. But by not doing this basic necessity of IR, you will not be even able to stand. It is not difficult to combine both, but still I've seen a lot of people, many people are good in IR, many people are good in HR. Many IR people are not at all good in HR, in my experience. And similarly, many HR people don't have that inclination to understand IR. Practically, I've seen people. It is not HR guys are highly qualified, he cannot get to know labor law. It's not that difficult, but he doesn't feel that inclination. And most IR guys may be difficult to understand more HR concept because he need to read, he doesn't read. He reads only labor law judgments. I can appreciate that guy has to read. If he has to be a good IR guy, he has to read a lot of notifications, government judgments, whatever it comes in line. He has to be up to date with the new notification, laws and regulation. So if he doesn't know HR, it's okay, but don't give him the HR responsibility. Come on, any other question? Come on, guys. You ask any question. Probably we'll meet only. I don't know whether we are going to meet next time. Any question you want to ask, please go ahead. Now, what do we do? So labor laws, I thought of talking to you guys on some other emerging concept like employee engagement, PCMM5, all those kind of things, but I don't think we have time to do that. I was intending to do that, or I wanted you guys to browse it and come and report in the class itself. What is employee engagement? What is PCMM5? What is competency mapping? You know, these are the latest concepts which are going on, which you should know. This you could see this slide. Employee engagement, best employer, PCMM, competency mapping. What is HPO? High performance organization, ODM change management, which way you touch some of these few concepts. I sincerely request you guys just browse it through. And have you heard about this one application called SlideShare? Are you aware of it?
Yes.
So most of you just download it and then go get all this thing PPT available there. Just quickly go through it for your future. Huh? SlideShare. You download this one, SlideShare. Not SlideShare, yeah, SHARE. And there I request you to all of you, like for example, Wipro is PCMM5 level. What do you mean by PCMM? People Capability Maturity Model. What is employee engagement? Which are the questionnaires available? Who are the employee who's classified as best employer? What is competency mapping? What is HPO? I just want you to go through that some of the PPT available in SlideShare. Have a fair idea about what is that. It's all interesting concept. Okay. Anything else? Come on, guys. Any questions?
Professor, and also with regards to studying part, with regards to exams only, is it enough that if we go through all the PPTs which you are done in the class, or
more than enough? Or just if you want, you can go through the book. Somewhere I given your book PPT also, right? I uploaded, or in my own class PPT is more than enough. If you understood the class, you don't need to read for the exam, I can tell you. But as the concepts are clear to you guys?
Yes.
Correct. But you have all the complete book PPT with you, all of you? Can I ask questions in this concept? What is employee engagement? What is PCMM? What is HPO? Will you be able to read yourself through the slide shares? Short questions?
Yes, we can do that.
I want opinion from you guys. Don't say that I didn't teach. That's why I'm telling you. I'm intent to ask you these questions like employee engagement.
No, definitely we can do that, but the challenge is we will not be able to map the bookish language that we have. The only thing is that
it will be only for a short questions here. The first section here.
I think
We don't
few
need a
of these
bookish manual.
concepts we are already practicing.
You must already practicing, right? That's what I'm saying. Just go through the slide share, you'll know.
Correct.
Your concept will get better with the right kind of words and all this kind of.
Right.
So I have your permission. I may ask you some few questions on what is employee increment. In the short question, it's section A. What is PCMM? What criteria are needed to be a best employer? Okay. What do you mean by HPO, high performance organization? Okay, only these 3-4 questions. I keep it to myself. Okay. And it's not difficult. Just go through slide share, you'll get it.
Okay.
Because your question paper should look little modern also. It is your respect and my respect. If you don't ask one or two this contemporary questions, it look like, hey, what is this here? Nothing is, everything is old. Nothing is new. You got my point? So I will definitely ask you this question: employee engagement best. That's all basic 3-4 line sentence you have to write in the short question only. PCM. Or if you want in the description, I don't mind taking the description part also, which will be a big question, which some of you may not be very comfortable. So let me keep this thing only to the short question. Section A.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I thought of doing it a little more this last half an hour, but we have got into more IR, so we couldn't cover it up this far. So by and large, IR, ERS concept is very clear to you guys. You'll be able to appreciate and then contribute wherever IR issues happening, or at least understand what could be the reason for IR there. If you have to write a paper on IR, will you be able to write a paper now? Understanding IR, causes and remedies to solve IR. Will you be able to write a paper on that?
Yes, Professor. Actually, one thing is actually the mindset. That's what I think today class I came to understand that actually management is the problem first.
Right. Correct.
That's the key.
Correct. If you are leader, if you are proactive, Shiva, and if you are a law-abiding situation, there should be no role for industrial dispute, I can tell you.
Professor, I have a different opinion. You know the names called HMT, GKW, NGGF. So everywhere I am onto the opinion that is that because of the association or government involved, or is still the as you said, the leadership or the management issues?
No. What you said, it's not association. It's a political. Government doesn't want to run it like a business and solve the problem. For what purpose? They encouraging them. That's a different angle. You raised. I am good. Happy you raised that point up. See, when we deal with industrial dispute, we are doing it a business, employee and employer, right? Some fourth party government or a political, I given a political cause. If you go to that reason, causes in general, the political cause. If they do it externally, because of political reason, the minister or somebody doesn't allow the CEO or MD to handle that issue. They're hanging on it. They're the vote bank.
In that scenario, it will be a huge loss to the nation.
Okay. We lost it, my dear. We lost it heavily. Finally, they closed down, right?
Exactly. Because finally, the HMT, they had all German-made in what I can say machineries. Have spent a lot of investment. They had a very trained employees. And
the kind of competency of employee, machinery, and the brand name they developed it. Had they retrenched and come to the core business, they could have climbed up like anything, right? And the kind of not only the watches, the other machinery or tools and all very well known. Even watches those days.
Agriculture, agriculture machineries. Yeah.
Correct.
They could be a competitor for even Tata. Otherwise,
correct.
Such a large.
Correct. So see, like a cancer, na guy. If you have some issues with your anything and any other part in the cancer, we have to go through surgery and chemotherapy, everything, right? I cannot carry on with that, right? Either you want a life or you want to remove some part of the body.
To Professor, I am putting you the one more query in the sense.
Yeah, please go. Now, have you answered the first question?
Yeah,
have
you
answered it?
You have answered, sir.
Yeah.
And what about how do you consider association in terms of benefit to the employee, or there will be a distraction to the industry itself? For example,
employee, business,
Hello. Association can destroy an industry also, right? So in that scenario,
you're talking about trade union.
Yeah, sorry, trade union. Sorry,
I got a little confused. You're talking about trade union. See, trade union at the state level, now they are getting it a little more pragmatic. They want to be very participative and try to help. But still, their DNA is wherever you are making a mistake and deliberately you are not trying to, like Tata Titan watches, our friend said, that you made it a first point itself that I don't want any outsider to be my union. I have an internal union. I want my union. I respect my union. But one condition, which I used to practice 30 years back. Only any of, I have 1,000 employee, man, you make any of your employee office para, secretary, chairman, whatever you make it, but not even a single guy will come from outside. Okay, that's one. So if you allow the third party sitting outside, somewhere sitting in somewhere else, and he will not appreciate my relation. My union will understand my problem. I will understand my union and my employee's problem. Though we may have difference of opinion, but still we will be able to solve. And we want to coexist together. We want to go live together, right? But trade union sitting outside, will you understand? No. Number one. Number two, their importance goes when there is a big issue. He comes to sit on your behalf in paper trade. He will trade. So by and large, the trade unions have been not much of a use, at least to the industry and also to employee. This is my opinion.
So the current central government is planning to reduce the rights of the trade unions. I think you might be aware of it. So what?
No, they want to go for.
Or is that the good to the nation?
See, they are trying to not only trade union, they want to rationalize most of the labor laws which are not practical. Like for example, you want an investment from abroad. Okay, if anybody wants to come, if they know that industry cannot set up, in the gone are the days, Kerala people no industry, even Indian industry would not go and set up there. West Bengal, right? Now that even there the issue is little changing, right? We should not go against exploit the employee. But can the employer be exploited? If employer is exploited, what will happen? No business, no economy, no employment, no GDP, right? So they have to balance. The policy maker also have to balance. You cannot go from socialist to capitalist or capitalist to socialist. They have to draw a line balancing both. Union should have a role. I'm not saying that there should be union. In fact, union should be more proactively involved in process designing, work simplification, training the employees, training the local employee union, how to be sensitive, how to take care of employer and employee. Why the trade union cannot play this kind of role? Hello, who was this asking? Hello?
Sir, in realistic, they are not performing these activities.
We should promote. Central government should promote. State government should promote. Labor department should promote. There's a scope to promote that way, right? Realistically.
Definitely, Professor.
And that will be love and fun, right?
Yeah, we have seen same scenario in our KSRTC strike.
Right. The recent one.
It's a meaningless.
Correct. Now, finally what happened?
It's closed. It's closed, right?
Who gained what? Right?
Nothing. Unnecessarily, government has lost the course of rupees in a 15 days.
Right. And
again, they will cut the salary in their salaries.
Again, there will be another dispute.
Again, one more strike will come. This Chandrasekhar Gowda is unnecessarily creating. He is not at all a member of that union. He is the president honor president of that union.
So
how the Labor Act is.
He's not seeing the industry of the company or the employee working in that company or the public. He sees his own importance. I can create problem. I can create problem. I can be reactive. I can pray at. I can know people how tough I am.
Yeah, see.
How tough you are in solving the problem in the interest of stakeholders.
Yeah.
In the interest of social justice. I'm not saying yield to the employer. Please don't misunderstand me, all of you.
Okay.
I'm more keen on the stakeholders' benefit. I'm keen on the social justice. I'm keen on the business flourishing. The golden goose has to lay golden egg every day. Yeah?
Then Chandrasekhar has right to participate in that union strike then?
No, anybody can participate in any strike. Na? Who can stop?
Okay.
You know,
but it's not seems to be he's doing the beneficial to the employee.
No,
for his publication and for his
right. It's vote banking. It's all political vote banking.
Yeah, that's what.
Political vote. Okay.
Professor, to understand, what's your opinion existence of trade union, or whether we can without a trade union in future for the development of the India, what I can say, industrial benefit.
See, that I would like to have definitely trade union. How trade union culture and value of the trade union, how the management recognize trade unions to be involved in that day-to-day planning and management. That is how we have to bring with a new strategical approach to trade union. Not that we the employer, oh, trade union is useless party kind of. Trade union thinks that I will always make you to make a mistake, I will always make you to go for a run. This is the philosophy going on right now.
Yes,
okay,
sir.
no? Correct, na? Now, whereas in management, we are talking about workers' participation in management. Why trade union could be leading workers' participation in management? Why the employer can take workers' trade union sitting in a hand to handle the local trade union guy? Guys, work more on production. Guys, they are already paying you good salary. They are already paying you salary, so don't issue an issue. The trade union guy coming and telling the management, sir, by knowingly, mistakenly, sir, I hope you are not aware of this act. Can you rectify it? Can you have a mutual respect of negotiating without going to legality? Are you getting my point? If this is done, what is the true benefit which I said? Employees should get equal share, fair share, as per the law, as per the market one. Production should not hamper. These are the two objectives. You know, both are the same coins, two sides, right? Can we have only one side? So I agree with you. Your question, trade union, it can be taken at a new approach. The culture, belief, value of a trade union guy should change. The employer guys also should change in respecting the trade union. And all of us should work in a proactive, constructive way and a diagnostic way. Not that I will do what I feel like. Not that political kind of union.
It should be transparent communication and negotiation.
Yeah, negotiate. It should not be a political oriented union. I'm not there for employee. I'm not there for employee. I am there by using this. A big vote bank is there. I'm using it for my political purpose. Am I there for employee or employer? Am I there for production? Am I there for employees good benefit, good bonus? It's okay. No, I'm not there. I am there for creating a dispute and creating a vote bank for it. Okay, guys. Good, done. We'll close. All the best to all of you.
Thank you, Professor.
Thank you. Best wishes to all of you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, Professor.
Thank you,
Professor. Thank you.
Thank you. All of
Bye.
you. Do
Thank you,
well.
Professor.
Take care. Thanks. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.